Chapter 742, Prince Feng's Residence. In the courtyard, Zhao Xingwu, Fang Ping muttered in his heart. Was Zhao Xingwu good or bad? Old Zhang didn't say anything. Then he had to treat the other party as a bad person. His identity might really have been exposed. Zhao Xingwu wanted to kill him before. Would he attack him now? Right now, he wasn't sure if he was someone from Duke Feng's residence, so he didn't dare to act rashly. However, now that he was being watched by Zhao Xingwu, he might quickly give himself away. We have to prepare for the worst. Fang Ping was on his guard. He dared not trust Zhao Xingwu. The other party might attack him. Even if Zhang Xian didn't make a move, he would still be in deep trouble if his identity was exposed. Could it be that I have to give up the identity of Kuei Ming? Maybe I need to give up. Previously, Fang Ping was still thinking of keeping Kuei Ming's identity, but now it was very dangerous. Perhaps Zhao Xingwu had discovered something. Kuei Ming's previous performance was a little overboard. It was not a good thing to attract attention. It's dangerous to impersonate someone you don't know. Thoughts flashed through Fang Ping's mind. He had two objectives for coming to the palace this time. First, he had disturbed the catacombs. Second, he could earn a lot of money. It would be best if he didn't expose his identity. But in reality, the first goal and the second goal conflicted. If he didn't want to expose his identity, then he couldn't rob others. If his personal style was too strong, it would be easy for others to associate him with him. His personal charm is too great. I can't even stop him. Fang Ping had no doubt that if he really went to mine or robbed something else, it would make some people think otherwise. Maybe I can take the initiative to do something, such as exposing my identity. Fang Ping suddenly had a ridiculous thought. It would be even better if it was real and fake, making it hard for others to see through and figure it out. I'm afraid I really have to give up on Kuei Ming's identity. No, don't give up on Kuei Ming's identity. Make Kuei Ming disappear. Fang Ping thought of something else. Perhaps he should not give up on Kuei Ming's identity and disappear from the imperial city. His mentality probed into the space. Fang Ping glanced at Kuei Ming's corpse and thought of many things. The disappearance of someone from Li Yi's side was not enough to prove that it was Xian Zhan's doing. However, what if someone from Feng Extermination's side also disappeared? Zhao Xingwu, Fang Ping muttered to himself again. It was better not to pin his hopes on others. If Zhao Xingwu really suspected him, then he had to resolve it immediately. Otherwise, he would get into trouble sooner or later. Who knew what kind of person Zhao Xingwu was? It's better to rely on myself than on others. In the catacombs, I can only trust myself. Fang Ping thought about many things. Then, as usual, he continued wandering around. The Holy Fruit Feast was drawing closer and closer. 3 more days. In the past 3 days, no one had disappeared, and every family had increased their vigilance. However, the Holy Fruit Feast was just around the corner. Aside from the incident in Li An's residence, the rest of the people were relieved. Prince Feng's residence. Commander's court. Feng Yu looked at Jin Yuhuai, who had come to report the news, and couldn't help but laugh. He stood up and said, "Kuei Ming invited me to a banquet again." Jin Yuhuai had a helpless and sorrowful expression. Yes, again. In the past few days, that bastard Kuei Ming had gone crazy. He often invited Feng Yu to banquets, and every time the consumption was enormous. Jin Yuhuai had to foot the bill. Jin Yuhuai was almost unable to control himself. One more time, and he would explode. How could he cheat people like this? Every time, he would use his own money to make friends with the important people in the residence. This was too much. Despite the anger in his heart, Jin Yuhuai still put on a smile and said, "Sir, Brother Kuei, and we are newcomers. In the residence, only you can help us the most, sir." please do us the honor. Feng Yu smiled. Fine, I'll go take a look then. Next time, tell Kuei Ming not to waste any more. Save the life stones. You'll need them in the future. Jin Yuhuai smiled and nodded hurriedly, but in his heart he was cursing. It was not Kuei Ming's. Why should he save it? Without another word, Jin Yuhuai led the way in front with a respectful expression. These days in the imperial city, that bastard Kuei Ming did not know if he had been to other places, but he was familiar with places to eat, drink, and have fun. Along the way, Feng Yu smiled and said, "This time at the Divine Guest Restaurant." "Yes, sir, the food at the Divine Guest Restaurant is not bad." Feng Yu smiled and nodded. It was a good place. A meal would cost at least 100 life stones. Even he, who worked in the Feng residence, only received a few hundred life stones every year. Sometimes, Feng Yu also felt that being a commander in the outer domain might not be worse than being in a forbidden zone. However, there were many opportunities in the imperial court, and it was not just a matter of salary. It was too difficult to become a god general in the outer domain. Soon, a huge building appeared in front of the two of them. Jin Yuhuai hurriedly smiled and said, "Sir, Brother Kuei booked the Divine Dao Pavilion on the 3rd floor. Divine Dao Pavilion, Kuei Ming is too wasteful." Feng Yu smiled happily, but he scolded him. It was just a meal. Why waste so much? Jin Yuhuai cursed again. Waste? If it's a waste, then don't come. You know it's expensive, but you still come. Aren't you just trying to earn a living? Shameless fellow. As the two of them spoke, they soon reached the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was different from the 1st and 2nd floors. The 3rd floor was divided into a few halls, and each hall was huge. Jin Yuhuai continued to lead Feng Yu to the Divine Dao Pavilion. After a few steps, Feng Yu stopped in front of a hall. He frowned slightly and did not say much. After passing the hall, he said, "Xian Zhen, these people are here too." Jin Yuhuai smiled and said, "I'm not sure about this, but the Heaven Fate Royal Court is not far from the Divine Guest Building." Feng Yu did not say much. Soon, the two of them reached the Divine Dao Pavilion. Feng Yu did not sense Kuei Ming's aura. He turned and said, "Kuei Ming is not here yet." Jin Yuhuai cursed in his heart. Where is this fellow? Feng Yu would usually arrive early when he was asked to invite him. Why was he not here today? Even though he was unhappy, Jin Yuhuai hurriedly said, "Sir, please go in and rest for a while. I will go down and take a look. Brother Kuei rarely misses time. Perhaps he was delayed by something today." "No problem." Feng Yu did not mind and said with a smile, "I know Kuei Ming's character. He was probably delayed by something. Go down and take a look." "Sir, please wait." Jin Yuhuai smiled and said. Then he looked at the maidservant waiting at the entrance of the Divine Dao Pavilion and scolded, "Go and prepare. Sir is here. Prepare to serve the dishes." Yes. At the entrance, the two maidservants responded delicately and hurriedly went to make arrangements. Jin Yuhuai led Feng Yu into the hall and personally served him tea. Then he apologized profusely and left the hall to look for Kuei Ming. "What is that fellow doing?" He said that he would talk to Feng Yu about entering the mining area of life, to cultivate. He made me excited, and now he is gone. Bastard, if he does this again, I am going to go bankrupt. Jin Yuhuai cursed in his heart. This was the last time. If Kuei Ming asked him to pay next time, he would say that he had no money. Was that fellow really going to kill him? When they were downstairs, Jin Yuhuai looked left and right but did not see anyone. He was even more frustrated. Feng Yu was still waiting. The other party was a direct descendant of Feng Miexing and a commander expert. If this continued and Feng Yu was unhappy, there would be trouble. After waiting for a while, there was a sudden roar less than 1,000 meters away from where they were. Jin Yuhuai was slightly stunned. At this moment, many experts in the divine guest house opened their windows or went downstairs. Feng Yu went downstairs and frowned. What is going on? Jin Yuhuai, is Kuei Ming not here yet? Lord, Brother Kuei is not here yet. Just as Jin Yuhuai was speaking, Feng Yu frowned. What is going on ahead? At this moment, a large number of Tianji army soldiers were rushing forward. Feng Yu said, "Let's go and take a look. The royal city has always been peaceful. Recently, there have been many incidents." As he spoke, Feng Yu suddenly bowed. "Greetings, your highnesses." At this moment, Xianzhen, Ji Yao, and the rest came down from upstairs. Xianzhen snorted coldly when she saw Feng Yu and the Maple royal clan's crest on his body. Ji Yao also directly ignored him. The few of them looked into the distance. Ji Yao said slowly, "It seems like someone died." Xianzhen nodded. "Yes, someone died." With that, he mocked, "Tianji City is known as the #1 city in God Continent. Even a true monarch cannot surpass it. However, these few days, there have been incidents." The few young men and women beside Xianzhen laughed with a hint of mockery. Tianji City had frequent incidents, and they had seen it. At this moment, Feng Yu suddenly frowned and said, "Let's go." With that, he brought Jin Yuhuai, who was still in a daze, and walked forward. Seeing that he was in a hurry, Xianzhen suddenly smiled. "Let's go and take a look. Did something happen to the Feng royal residence?" They weren't familiar with the Feng royal residence. However, looking at Feng Yu, they seemed to be related. "Lord," Jin Yuhuai was also nervous. Feng Yu took a deep breath. It seems like Kuei Ming. Damn it, I hope it's not him. Kuei Ming." Jin Yuhuai was shocked. Something happened to Kuei Ming? Without giving him a chance to think, they soon arrived at a small alley. The Tianji army had already sealed the place. Once Feng Yu arrived, he immediately shouted, "I am Feng Royal Residence's Feng Yu. Let me in." At this moment, the Tianji army outside had unfriendly expressions and didn't give way. Inside, an expert said calmly, "Let him in." Feng Yu snorted and walked into the small alley. When he entered, Feng Yu's face instantly turned green. He suddenly looked at the few Tianji army generals and gritted his teeth. "Good, very good. How dare you do this in front of everyone?" The few commanders of the Tianji army also frowned slightly. Soon, a person in front said coldly, "Commander Feng Yu, you can't speak carelessly." Carelessly? Feng Yu's expression was ugly to the extreme. Looking at Kuei Ming, whose body exploded, and only half a head was left, he said angrily, "How could Kuei Ming die here? You deserve to die. Kuei Ming came to the imperial court not long ago, and the only people he offended were you. Last time, you wanted to kill him. This commander didn't think you would dare to do this." As he finished, Feng Yu grabbed half of Kuei Ming's head and said coldly, "A venerable did it. One hit to kill, and there are remnants of imperishable substance." The few commanders didn't speak. They also felt it. Feng Yu looked around and said coldly, "Kuei Ming was killed in the imperial city. This commander will immediately report this matter to His Highness. No one is allowed to leave. Wait for His Highness to deal with it. Jin Yuhuai, go back and tell His Highness that Kuei Ming was killed." At this time, Jin Yuhuai was stunned. Kuei Ming died just like this. As soon as he said that, a silhouette descended from midair. He said with a cold expression, "Your Highness Feng, you can't say things like that. Do you think that I would let a nobody like Kuei Ming be killed?" Hua Qidao. Feng Mieshing was hysterical and said angrily, "This is the imperial city. Are the Tianji army all trash? If it wasn't you guys who killed him, then any random person could kill a peak warrior in the court. Is there still any safety in the imperial city? Hua Qidao was speechless. Regardless of whether the Tianji army did it or not, they were in big trouble. One of the Feng Mansion's champions, one who had a conflict with them, was killed on the streets. At that moment, Feng Mieshing suddenly said, "There is still some imperishable substance left on Kuei Ming's body. Feng Zhe, sense it and see who left it." Feng Zhe hurriedly took the head and sensed it carefully. He was about to speak when half of Kuei Ming's head suddenly exploded. Feng Mieshing's expression turned even uglier. Feng Zhe was not surprised. He said in a low voice, "I touched the imperishable substance, and my head exploded. However, this aura, it's a little like, who? Speak." Feng Mieshing looked around with a cold expression. A maple leaf suddenly appeared in his hand as he gritted his teeth and said, "I want to see who controls this imperial court. How dare they kill me just like that? I've warned them again and again, but they still dare to do this. This is too much." Feng Mieshing was furious. Kuei Ming was already a peak champion. His personal strength was not important, but he had said in front of everyone that no one would dare to touch Kuei Ming after the previous incident. How many days had it been? He had been slapped in the face. Not only was Kuei Ming dead, but he was also killed on the bustling street. This was not only a slap to his face, but also to the Feng Mansion. Feng Zhe hesitated for a moment before saying, "It's like supremacy, Li Yuan's aura." "Nonsense." At that moment, someone outside shouted. Lian walked in with Li Yuan. Lian's expression was ugly as she shouted, "Feng Mieshing, tell your people to watch their mouths. Li Yuan has always been with me, so why would he kill someone? Even if I wanted to kill someone, I wouldn't need Li Yuan. I would kill Kuei Ming myself." Feng Zhe transmitted his voice. "Your Highness, there is a slight resemblance, but it's not very clear. It's about to dissipate. It's also possible that someone framed Li Yuan." When Feng Mieshing heard this, he did not say anything. He looked at Lian and said coldly, "Lian, you know better than me how Kuei Ming died." After saying that, he looked at Hua Qidao and said coldly, "General Hua, someone from the Feng Mansion was killed in front of everyone. There should be an explanation. Is there no clue as to who the real culprit is?" At the side, Lian sneered, "It's just a champion who died." Feng Mieshing retorted, "I'm not trash like you. Moreover, who knows if the few commanders in your residence who have disappeared have really disappeared or just faked it? No one saw them, and no one knows if they're dead or alive. Kuei Ming was killed in front of everyone, and now you're telling me it's insignificant? Lian, you're trash, but don't treat everyone else like trash. Kuei Ming died near the imperial court. Do you know what this means? It means that the Tianji army has completely lost control of the imperial city. It means that if someone wants to kill us, it'll just take a little more effort. You're still so smug. Trash. What a joke." Feng Mieshing mocked. Li An's face turned green, but Hua Qidao did not retort this time. He said with a cold expression, "Your Highness Feng is right. This place is not far from the imperial court. How dare they kill Kuei Ming in front of everyone? Investigate. This matter must be thoroughly investigated. I also want to see who in the imperial city has the guts to provoke the Tianji army again and again." After saying that, Hua Qidao suddenly looked around and said coldly, "Before I came, this area had already been sealed by the Tianji army. I can confirm that the high-ranked martial artists who were here earlier are still here. No one has left. The one who killed Kuei Ming is a venerable powerhouse, or even a god-general powerhouse. Since everyone has met, please cooperate with the Tianji army this time. Please forgive us." As he said that, he looked at the few commanders who had arrived earlier and said coldly, Tell me, what did you see? Reporting to Commander Hua, we were patrolling in another area when we heard a roar and quickly rushed here. As soon as we arrived, we saw Kuei Ming's corpse. There was no trace of the enemy. The commander of the Tianji army spoke for a while. Hua Qidao said coldly, "Why did Kuei Ming appear here?" At this time, Feng Yu answered, "Kuei Ming invited me to the Divine Guest House for an appointment. When I arrived with Jin Yuhuai, I didn't see Kuei Ming. While we were waiting, something happened here." Feng Yu said a few words and quickly looked at Jin Yuhuai. Jin Yuhuai said nervously, "These few days, Kuei Ming often invited the lords in the residence." Kuei Ming was preparing to enter the imperial residence's life mining area to cultivate and break through to the quasi-commander level. Today, Kuei Ming asked me to invite Lord Feng Yu. He said he would rush to the Divine Guest House in advance. In the end, when Lord Feng Yu and I arrived, Kuei Ming was still nowhere to be seen. The previous few times, he had arrived early. After that, it was as the Lord said. We heard the noise, and the Tianji army rushed over. Lord Feng Yu sensed that something had happened to Kuei Ming, so he rushed over. In the end, he found out that Kuei Ming had really been killed. Hua Qidao's expression was cold. He looked around and said, "Who is the divine general in charge of this place today?" "Commander Hua, it's me." Hua Qidao glanced at the golden-armored divine general beside him and said in a low voice, "Did you sense anything?" The divine general who replied looked helpless and immediately said, "There was nothing unusual at the time. However, these few days, the number of powerhouses in this area has increased." The moment the noise was heard, I had already locked on to 39 high-ranked martial artists in this area. However, Commander Hua also knows that killing a general takes a very short time. There were too many high-ranked martial artists nearby at the time. They are all suspects. 39. Hua Qidao glanced coldly at the high-ranked martial artists around him. In the crowd, Ji Yao saw him looking at her and humphed. Hua Qidao ignored her. Ji Yao and her group were the most suspicious. There was no other reason. These people were from Destiny Court. Not only Ji Yao and her group, but also Li Yi and her group, including the other highnesses. Hua Qidao felt a headache coming on. Why were they all here today? 39 high-ranked martial artists. Most of them were powerhouses belonging to various forces. All of these people could have killed Kuei Ming. Usually, a general would die if he were to die. However, Kuei Ming was different. He was a member of Prince Feng Mansion. Moreover, he had just gotten into a conflict with the Sky Plant's army, and Li Yi Feng Mieshing had said that no one in the imperial city would dare to touch Kuei Ming at this time. At most, he would not come to the imperial city in the future. In the end, it had only been a few days. The Sky Plant's army's matter was not over yet, and Kuei Ming had been killed. This was no longer the left army's matter. If this matter was not handled properly, the entire Sky Plant's army would be implicated. Both the Central and Right Army could be implicated. Was there any value in the existence of a Sky Plant's army that could not protect the imperial city? Ji Yao, Xianzhen, Li Yi, Hua Yu, Ziyue. One by one, names flashed through Hua Qidao's mind. The possibility of Li Yi being the culprit was not high. The others were all suspects. There was even the possibility that the Feng Mansion was directing and acting on their own. However, there was no need for this. The Feng Mansion couldn't handle the entire Tianji army. If they caused trouble now, it would only make the Feng Mansion a laughingstock and benefit others. Who could it be? Hua Qidao cursed in his heart. Over the past few days, things had piled up one after the other. These people did not even stop. What exactly were they trying to do? To completely disrupt the entire Heavenly Plant City. Now, everyone was a suspect. What were they trying to do? Why did he have to take away the entire Tianji army? The center and right divisions of the Tianji army were the last assets of Wang Lord and the right divine general. Once someone tried to take it, how could Wang Lord let it go? It was different from the left division. The left division could not be suppressed by itself, and the Lord did not have a suitable candidate, so he decided to give up. But that did not mean that they had given up on the entire Tianji army. If they gave up on the central division, they might be able to bear it, but the right division definitely could not. The right divine general had been in charge of the right division for many years. If they gave up on the right division, the right divine general would fall out with them. Hua Qidao's heart was filled with mixed feelings. He felt that the atmosphere in the imperial city was getting more and more strange. Kuei Ming is dead. What a pity. At the same time, Fang Ping sighed in his heart. No, Feng Yu was sighing in his heart. Fang Ping was currently standing beside Feng Mieshing, beside Hua Qidao, and the rest, waiting for them to track down the murderer. Kuei Ming was dead, and everything was fine. How great! Look, now these people were looking at each other, suspecting each other. No one suspected Kuei Ming, right? As for him, he was Feng Yu. What did it have to do with him? When Kuei Ming died, he was still waiting for Kuei Ming at the Divine Tao Pavilion for his appointment. Feng Yu's identity might be better. A rank 7 martial artist has a higher status, but not many people pay attention to him. He's also Feng Mieshing's direct descendant, and he's quite familiar with him. At least, he's gotten to know him a lot these days. Not bad at all. Fang Ping was very satisfied. This identity was not bad. As long as he was familiar with changing identities, it would be good. See, Zhao Xingwu no longer suspected him, right? The person you suspected is dead. Let's see how you can doubt him. Please remember this book's original domain name, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 743. Fang Ping did not think it was important who killed Kuei Ming. Hua Qidao was still asking questions. Fang Ping sent a voice transmission to Feng Mieshing saying hurriedly, "Your Highness, Kuei Ming is dead. Some people are acting recklessly now. There are only 2 venerable lords in the house now. Your Highness, why don't you send someone to the True King Hall to inform Duke Feng?" Feng Mieshing's expression was cold. He also sent a voice transmission. They don't have the guts. At this time, everyone was talking through voice transmission. After Feng Mieshing finished speaking, the strongest Feng Zhe reminded him, "Your Highness, be careful." Fang Ping said hurriedly, "If your Highness is unwilling, why don't you go to Lord Lu's residence and rest for a few days? The 2 venerable lords will accompany your Highness. I will stay behind to guard the Feng mansion. There are no divine generals guarding the mansion now. Your Highness's safety is of utmost importance. Your Highness." Feng Zhe and Feng Hua looked at each other and said hurriedly, "Your Highness, Feng Hua is right. We will rest in Lord Lu's residence for a few days. It won't be too late for us to return after the sacred fruit feast ends and the powerhouses leave." Feng Mieshing frowned. He looked at Fang Ping and said, "If I am not around, you will be in danger." "Your Highness." Fang Ping was touched. He said hurriedly, "I'm not afraid. There must be someone guarding the mansion. Otherwise, how will the other houses look at Prince Feng Mansion? If they all leave the mansion because of fear, Prince Feng Mansion will not be able to survive in the future." Feng Mieshing glanced at Feng Hua. Feng Hua was a rank 8 third-stage martial artist. It might be better for him to stay behind in the mansion. Thinking of this, Feng Mieshing said, "Feng Hua, stay behind with Feng Hua and the rest. After this, Feng Zhe and I will go to Uncle Godless' residence." Feng Hua said hurriedly, "I will be loyal to my duty." Fang Ping also responded hurriedly, sighing in his heart. "Feng Hua, I don't want to kill you, but you insist on staying. I have no choice. As for pretending to be Feng Hua and continuing to improve his position on Feng Miexing's side, forget it. A rank 8 powerhouse was very eye-catching. Moreover, if Feng Miexing did not die now and went to the king's battlefield, they could still go together. However, Feng Hua was a rank 8. Even if he went there, he would not be in the same region. Feng Ping felt that it was still necessary to follow Feng Miexing closely. Once I get rid of Feng Hua, true King Manor will be mine. Feng Ping sighed. Just like that, I managed to become the Grand Chief of Feng Mansion. Should he take the underground or veins and treasuries of the Feng Wangfu's estate? What a dilemma! 3rd level rank, 8. He's weaker than me. If he's trapped in the Golden House, it shouldn't be too difficult to kill him. As they spoke, Feng Miexing spoke again. Who do you think killed Kuei Ming? Why did he kill Kuei Ming? Don't tell me it's just to create enmity between us and the Tianji army? But we've never been on good terms with the Tianji army. Feng Ping hesitated for a moment, then said, Your Highness, I don't think it's Li Yi's doing. Killing Kuei Ming has no benefit to Li Yi and the others. This subordinate suspects someone. Who? Xuanzhen. Feng Ping said anxiously. Xuanzhen has always been extremely dissatisfied with Prince Feng's mansion. He feels that the death of true monarch Mystic Jade was Lord Feng's fault. He knows what happened to Kuei Ming and what happened before. If he killed Kuei Ming now, not only would the mansion lose face, but it would also make His Highness and Li Yi even more hostile towards each other. There's one more thing that I'm not sure if I should say. Speak. This subordinate feels that Your Highness is still too careless. His Highness wants to marry Her Highness Ji Yao. I feel that the biggest problem isn't Li Yi or the other highnesses, but Xuanzhen. Xuanzhen has always been following Her Highness Ji Yao and has never left her side. Previously, I heard His Highness Xuanzhen and Her Highness Ji Yao talk about His Highness and Li Yi frequently. Moreover, Her Highness Ji Yao thinks that Xuanzhen has something to do with Monarch Mystic Jade's death. She feels guilty and is extremely friendly towards Xuanzhen. Your Highness, if this goes on, Her Highness Ji Yao will probably hate His Highness even more, and like Xuanzhen more and more. Feng Miexing's expression changed slightly. At this moment, he happened to see Xuanzhen and Ji Yao whispering to each other through voice transmission. Feng Miexing's gaze changed. That damn fellow. He might really be the one who did it. Thinking of this, Feng Miexing quickly asked, Is he here today? Her Highness Ji Yao and the others are at the Divine Guest Tower. Where was Divine General Xiantong before? This subordinate does not know, but Divine General Xiantong is not at the Divine Guest Tower. At this moment, Xiantong was also there, but he was not with Ji Yao and the others. Xuantong's expression did not change. In fact, he did not think much about it. It had nothing to do with him. He did not go to the Divine Guest Tower because he wanted to buy something and was not with Ji Yao and the others. Feng Miexing glanced at Xiantong with a dark expression. Xiantong was not at the Divine Guest Tower. That meant that Xiantong had enough time to kill someone. It was just killing a champion martial artist. To Xiantong, it was just a matter of a casual move. Li Yi's commander had disappeared, and Li Yi had lost all her dignity. Her own residence's champion had been killed, and she had lost all her dignity. In terms of status, he was the grandson of a monarch, and Li Yi was the son of a lord. Now that the two royal courts needed to unite by marriage, a marriage could promote cooperation, although the effect was mediocre. However, the probability of the marriage was not small, and he had a higher chance. Xuanzhen was only the grandson of a fallen monarch, so his chances were slim. However, he had used the death of the Mystic Jade monarch to gain Ji Yao's sympathy. He often spoke ill of Feng Miexing and Li Yi and then publicly humiliated them. Ji Yao would not like them anymore. Although she did not like them, this situation would worsen because of Xian Zhen. Thinking of this, Feng Miexing suddenly said, General Hua is the person who killed Kuei Ming and caused the disappearance of Li Yi's commander the same person? Hua Qidao frowned and said lightly, I do not know. Feng Miexing said coldly, the Tianji army is indeed becoming more and more useless. They know nothing. There is no guarantee of the safety of the imperial city. Who knows, something might happen to the imperial court one day. Your Highness, you worry too much. Humph. Feng Miexing said slowly, everyone saw this. Li Yi, I have no intention of arguing with you. Let me ask you, did the commander of your residence really disappear? Li Yi's expression was ugly. Of course it's true. A god general might be able to make a commander disappear without a trace, but the safest is still a god realm powerhouse. Feng Miexing said calmly, there are not many god realm powerhouses in the imperial city. Apart from the Tianji army, there are some. General Hua, was it done by someone from the Tianji army? Hua Qidao said coldly, impossible. Then there are only a handful of god realm powerhouses left. Now, apart from the Tianji army, there are 3 god realm powerhouses. In the crowd, Zhao Xingwu said lightly, Your Highness Feng, there is no need to count me in. I have people watching me. The moment he said that, the expressions of Hua Qidao and the others changed. Zhao Xingwu burst out laughing. He didn't care at all and continued, when I enter the 20-mile range of the imperial dynasty, there will be many people staring at me. You have to be careful that I might suddenly go on a rampage and kill someone important, so don't count me in. Feng Miexing was not surprised. Zhao Xingwu was an outsider and a top-notch powerhouse, so it was necessary to watch him. Otherwise, if this fellow went berserk, he might even kill the Lord King. Feng Miexing said with a smile, Miexing naturally does not suspect General Zhao. Apart from General Zhao, there are also Divine General Xiantong and Divine General Ji Nan here. The 2 of them are also god realm powerhouses. Coincidentally, the disappearance of the commanders in Li En's residence happened when the 2 of them came to the imperial city. It is the same today. Ordinary supremacies will definitely not hide it from the divine generals when they attack Kuei Ming. General Zhao, did you feel anything strange today? Zhao Xingwu said lazily, I don't care about these things. In the crowd, a middle-aged man beside Ji Yao said coldly, What do you mean, Your Highness Feng? Feng Miexing said with a smile, I have no intention of suspecting Divine General Ji Nan. As he said that, Feng Miexing suddenly looked at Xiantong and said with a livid expression, But it is hard to say for Divine General Xiantong. Humph. Xuantong's expression was extremely ugly as he said in a low voice, Feng Miexing, you have to think before you speak. Feng Miexing sneered. Of course I will think. Don't think that I don't know anything. Since Mystic Jade, true monarch, has fallen, the Xian family has always hated the palace and Feng Mansion. In the crowd, Xian Zhen suppressed his anger and said in a low voice, Feng Miexing, I will not hide my dissatisfaction with you. But Li Yi and I have no enmity. Feng Miexing sneered. All right, stop pretending. There are some things that you really don't know. Mystic Jade, true monarch's fall has nothing to do with my imperial ancestor. Anyone with a brain would know that it is impossible. I can't wait for Fang Ping to die immediately. Moreover, the previous incident was also instigated by imperial ancestor. It failed. Fang Ping did not die. Mystic Jade, true monarch, fell. Imperial ancestor was blamed by the other true monarchs. What good does it do for Feng Mansion? It can be said that Feng Mansion hoped more than anyone else that the last time would be successful, that they could kill Fang Ping and destroy the land of rebirth. Do you really not know about these things? Of course, you know clearly who did what happened to Mystic Jade, true monarch. If I can understand it, then so can you. Do you really not know? Li Yi's act has already spread. Do you really not know? If that is the case, Feng Miexing. Li Yi's face was cold, her expression extremely ugly. Feng Miexing sneered. I won't bear this kind of trouble for others. If Xian Zhen wants revenge, if Destiny Royal Court wants to cause trouble, then it has nothing to do with me or Feng Mansion. Li Yi, you know very well who did the disappearance of a few chieftains in your mansion. If it was me, even if I can't deal with you, Li Yi, killing a few of your chieftains is not a bad idea. Then, killing Kuei Ming in my mansion will make Feng Mansion and the Tianji army more hostile towards you. Li Yi, this will only benefit some people. Feng Miexing's intelligence was currently off the charts. He grinned. While you're at it, you can watch us make a fool of ourselves in front of Ji Yao. Ji Yao, although we don't see eye to eye, I still want to ask you something today. Xianzhen must have said a lot about Li Yi and me being useless, right? Ji Yao harumphed and said nothing. She glanced at Xianzhen and frowned slightly. That was true. Xianzhen's expression was extremely ugly. Beside him, Xiantong suddenly laughed. Your Highness's analysis is very good, but this is all just a one-sided story. Are you saying that I killed Kuei Ming? Killed the chieftains in Li Yi's mansion? What a joke. When I entered Tianji City, I was also being watched. As soon as he said this, Zhao Xingwu sneered. Are you talking about when the people in Li Yi's mansion disappeared? Or are you talking about today? Coincidentally, I was near the imperial court these few times. Everyone was watching me. Where would I have the time to watch you? When he said this, Xian Tong's expression stiffened. Hua Qidao and the rest also stiffened. He was right. Zhao Xingwu was right. Those few times, Zhao Xingwu had indeed been loitering around the imperial court. When he did that, the powerhouses near the imperial court had been watching him. No one really cared about Xian Tong. Compared to Xian Tong, a powerhouse like Zhao Xingwu was more worthy of attention. They stiffened. Feng Ping cursed in his heart. What was Zhao Xingwu trying to do? Could it be that he was nearby all those times? As expected, he had been suspected. Fortunately, he had changed his identity. Otherwise, Xian Tong might have guessed his identity. However, Zhao Xingwu had done a good job. This way, no one was watching Xian Tong. Hua Qidao glanced at Xian Tong and did not say anything. It was just a suspicion. There was no evidence. As the envoy of Destiny Royal Court, the Royal Court would not do anything to a Divine Path powerhouse just because of a suspicion. That would cause the other party to be extremely displeased. Feng Miexing did not pursue this matter anymore. He sneered. All right, things are more or less clear now. Kuei Ming's dead. That's good too. At least I know that someone is secretly plotting against the Feng Mansion. Kuei Ming's death is good. A general is dead. It's enough that I know some things. Xianzhen's face was ashen. He said angrily, Feng Miexing, how dare you slander me? Slander you? Feng Miexing sneered. You think you're worthy? To put it bluntly, you don't have the right now. Your Xian family wants to keep your current position and wants to capture Ji Yao. Do you think everyone is blind? But if Ji Yao marries me, or Li Yi, seeing that Ji Yao was about to lose her temper, Feng Miexing said impatiently, Don't interrupt. Idiot, you've been plotted against, and you don't even know it. Every time, it's you who spoils everything. Time and time again. If it weren't for you, I would have killed Feng Ping long ago. Why would I wait until now? Feng Miexing scolded. He continued, Xianzhen wants to gain your sympathy. It's inevitable that he wants to marry into the Ji family. Everyone can see it. You're the only one who doesn't. Li Yi and I are his biggest opponents. Xianzhen doesn't dare to attack me and Li Yi, so he can only play some tricks. What a joke. Feng Miesheng sneered again. He turned and left. As he walked, he said, Kuei Ming is dead. There's no need to investigate anymore. But the Tianji army, hee. Feng Miesheng was extremely satisfied. Kuei Ming's death made the Tianji army a target for everyone again. Xianzhen's true colors were exposed. Kuei Ming was really his lucky star. Previously, Kuei Ming had exposed Li Yi. Now he had dug out Xianzhen and dealt a blow to the Tianji army. Feng Miesheng realized that ever since Kuei Ming had sided with him, he had been helping him until his death, helping him gain the upper hand. As for whether it was Xianzhen who did it, it was not important. He wanted others to think that it was Xianzhen. That was enough. Feng Miesheng was extremely dissatisfied with Xianzhen spending so much time with Ji Yao. If this went on, would Ji Yao still have a chance? Now Ji Yao, that idiot, would probably not trust Xianzhen anymore. Killing two birds with one stone. Feng Miesheng laughed loudly and left arrogantly. Good news. Kuei Ming's death was really a good thing. In the crowd, Xianzhen's expression was ugly. Xian Tong said softly, This has nothing to do with me or Xianzhen. The Xian family has many things to do now. They won't cause unnecessary trouble by doing such trivial things. Hua Qidao said lightly, I also believe that this has nothing to do with Divine General Xian Tong. As he said that, Hua Qidao snorted coldly and quickly left with the Tianji army. Whether it was the Xian family or not, it was best to throw it to the Xian family. Everyone could accept letting the Xian family be the scapegoat. Those princes could not be the scapegoat. Ji Yao could not either. She had a noble status. The Tianji army was even worse. The Lord could not afford such a loss. After thinking about it, they could either throw it to Zhao Xingwu or the Xian family. After all, they were outsiders. But Zhao Xingwu had always been watched. Throwing it to him would mean that all the experts in the city were trash. Letting Zhao Xingwu kill someone under their noses would be too much of a waste. In the end, Hua Qidao suddenly realized that throwing it to the Xian family was the best option. Mystic Jade Monarch had fallen anyway. Moreover, there was a lot of commotion now. The Xian family said that they wanted to hold the royal court accountable. Now that the Xian family was the scapegoat, would they still have the face to hold them accountable? It was rare for Hua Qidao and Feng Miesheng to agree. They should be thrown to the Xian family, whether it was true or not. After Hua Qidao left, the others also dispersed. Zhao Xingwu smiled coldly and slowly left. He was puzzled. Had they really made a mistake? After they left, Ji Yao looked at Xianzhen. Xianzhen was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He hurriedly said, Ji Yao, this matter is not as they say. Ji Yao said coldly, I know, whether it is or not. It is not true. All of you are the pillars of Destiny Royal Court. How can you allow others to slander you? This matter has nothing to do with Destiny Royal Court. In other words, she only believed in Destiny Royal Court. Whether it was true or not, Destiny Royal Court would not admit to it. Xianzhen's eyes flashed with anger as he said in a low voice, This was not done by me, nor by Uncle Royal. Feng Miesheng deliberately framed me. As for Wang Zu's death, Xianzhen's expression became uglier. Feng Miesheng's words were all false. He could not be bothered with him. Although Feng Miesheng did not mention names, his words were very clear. Wang Zu's death was really a result of someone's scheme. Ji Yao did not care whether it was Xianzhen's doing or not. Her eyes were cold as she said, Don't worry, Grandpa Xianyu's death will not be taken lightly, but I'm warning you, Xianzhen, do not act recklessly. Killing a few small fries won't help the situation at all. Xian Zhen was so angry that he was about to explode. Do you really think I did it? Beside her, Xian Tong frowned. Ji Yao, the people in Li En's residence disappeared. I was with Ji Nan at that time. Beside him, God General Ji. Nen smiled but did not say anything. It was the middle of the night. Who would be with Xian Tong? However, Xian Tong's aura was still there. He could sense it. However, powerhouses like them, even if they lived nearby, would not deliberately sense each other's presence. It was a taboo. If they left quickly and set up a mentality barrier, it would be difficult for them to be discovered quickly. If Zhao Xingwu did not attract attention, Xian Tong might be noticed. However, since Zhao Xingwu was nearby, it was very likely that everyone was watching him and did not pay attention to Xian Tong. Seeing that, Xian Tong did not say anything. He was extremely annoyed. Why did it become the Xian family's problem out of nowhere? Before he came, he had repeatedly reminded Xian Zhen to keep a low profile, to endure, and to lie low. Why would they cause more trouble at this time? Someone was plotting against them. Damn it! Chaos, chaos! At this moment, Fong Ping was gloating as he followed Feng Yexing back. You suspect me, I suspect you. Was this not what he wanted to see when he entered the catacombs? With the current situation, even if he revealed that he was Fong Ping suspected that these fellows might not believe him. They might even think that someone was fishing in troubled waters. Needless to say, the possibility was very high. These fellows in the catacombs were quite smart. They liked to overthink. Even if they did not like to overthink, it was because it was not worth it. How many fools were there to be able to cultivate to this level? However, the less stupid one was, the easier it was to take the bait. As they walked, Feng Yexing said, I'm not sure if Xian Tong did it. However, Prince Feng's mansion is indeed not safe enough. These people have muddled the waters. It's hard to see the truth. Fengzhe and I will go to Uncle Godless Mansion. Fenghua, you and Fengyu should be careful. Don't act rashly. I understand. Both of them responded hurriedly. Feng Yexing did not say anything else and left quickly. Once he left, Fong Ping heaved a sigh of relief. He smiled. Sir, I'm relieved that His Highness has gone to Lord Lu's mansion. I'm still worried that there are no divine generals in the mansion. Fenghua said as they walked, That's true. However, you and I have to be careful. Recently, there are many powerhouses in the Imperial City. Someone wants to do something in the dark. Without a divine general in Prince Feng's mansion, it's very dangerous. As for True King Hall, I wonder if Lord Fengqi will let Divine General Fengqi return. Divine General Fengqi still has to listen to Lord Fengqi's summons. He might not be able to come to Prince Feng's mansion. That's true. Fenghua sighed. He lamented again. It's all because of that bastard Fong Ping. During the trip to the 17 southern regions, a few divine generals from 9 cities died. Sigh. That bastard. I'll kill him sooner or later. Fong Ping's expression was ferocious. He glared at Fenghua. You're dead. You're definitely dead. Those who scold my people in front of me will not have a good ending. After I kill you, I'll be in charge of Prince Feng's mansion. If you die, Feng Yexing will never dare to return to the manor. As a direct descendant, it's time for me to take over. Both of them returned to the mansion. There were still a few chieftains in the mansion. However, these people had always been stationed in Prince Feng's mansion. They were not as close as Feng Yu and Feng Yexing. Naturally, their status was not as high as Feng Yu's. As the strongest powerhouse in the mansion, Fenghua did not care about these things once he returned. He went back to his own mansion, minding his own business. As for Fong Ping, he began to arrange for the chieftains to lead a patrol team. Prince Feng's mansion was tightly guarded. For a moment, the atmosphere in the mansion was tense. Fang Ping also issued orders continuously. He wanted the mansion to be tightly guarded. Without his and Feng Hua's orders, all powerhouses were not allowed to take a step out of the mansion. Feng Hua was quite satisfied with Fang Ping's arrangements. After a brief inspection, he no longer cared about these matters. As for Fang Ping, after he was done with the arrangements, he entered the underground mineral vein. Kuei Ming did not have the right to enter, but Feng Yu did. Fang Ping felt that it did not matter whether he dug or not. It was a huge mine, after all. It was rare to have a chance to look at it openly. When he went underground and saw the mineral vein, Fang Ping instantly felt extremely regretful. What a pity! Such a huge mine, even bigger than the outer regions. He could only look at it and not take it. What a pity! Please remember this book's domain name, Nine Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 744. In the underground mineral vein. The Maple Mansion's mineral vein was not irregular. Instead, it was a regular strip that extended toward the depths of the palace. However, the further it went, the thinner it became. The source was indeed the palace. The mineral veins in the imperial city originated from the palace, guarded by true King Tian Yu. However, true King Tian Yu did not attach mentality to the mansion's mineral vein. This was also a form of respect for the true king. The other mineral veins were attached with some true king mentality. It's hard to even blow up the mine. Fang Ping looked for a while and shook his head again. The Maple Mansion's mineral vein was solidified by the true king. The energy could flow, but it was difficult for it to leak on a large scale. If it did not leak, then it would be difficult to blow up the mine. That's true. It's an imperial city after all. The energy is too dense. If a powerhouse ignites the energy, it will cause an explosion. I know this. There's no reason the powerhouses in the imperial city don't know this. These guys won't let themselves live on top of the explosives. 99 of them exploding together can easily kill a rank 9. If the energy doesn't leak on a large scale, naturally it won't explode. Fang Ping felt that it was a pity. Otherwise, if all 99 mineral veins were together, this explosion would destroy the entire Skyplant city. He did not know how many martial artists would be killed. A few million would be considered a small number. Fang Ping knocked on the wall next to him. Not all walls were energy stones. This was a passageway in the giant mine. The underground cultivation room was actually surrounded by the giant mine. The true king solidified it slightly. The true king would not expend a lot of mentality to do this. No one dared to take it if it was left here. If a pit appeared after digging a piece, it would be big trouble if someone found out. Moreover, it was difficult for non-commander level martial artists to enter this place. Commander level powerhouses all had their own goals. How many energy stones could they take away without a storage ring when they dug? Because of this, there had never been a case of a giant mine being dug up in the imperial residence in so many years. I'll leave the mine here first. It'll be dug up sooner or later. I should think about what to do next. Now that Feng Hua is still alive, it's not convenient for me to come and go. I just framed Xiantong. Now everyone is watching him. If I make a move, it'll give Xiantong a chance to clear his name. But then again, I'm not trying to frame Xiantong. I'm just making the situation more chaotic. Fang Ping subconsciously wanted to rub his chin, but quickly gave up. Maple did not like this action. There are too many experts in this damned place. If we were in the outer domain with just 2 rank 9s, I could stir up chaos in the outer domain. Right now, There are people keeping an eye on all the great duke's residences and important residences. The Tianji army has been mobilized in large numbers, and there are many divine generals. Fang Ping deliberated again and again. After a long time, he made a decision. I'm not going to the prince's mansion and those places anymore. Heavenly Plant City was so big. He should be making some money by cutting grass and hunting rabbits. There were many shops in Sky Plant City, and high-ranked powerhouses were not cabbages that could be found everywhere. He would go and do a few things first to muddy the waters. The imperial city was huge and had a large population. How could there be no bad guys? If he set an example first, a bunch of bad people might soon appear. Fang Ping waited for the sky to turn dark. He started making some arrangements so that he could leave the house without being discovered. Right now, he was the chief steward of the Feng Palace. That fellow, Feng Hua, didn't care about anything. The house was strictly patrolled, but Fang Ping knew that there was a gap. As long as he left the house now and no one came looking for him, there would not be a problem. Maybe I should dig a tunnel under the Feng Palace. It'll be easier to get in and out. Fang Ping had not done this for a long time, but now he thought of digging a tunnel. The Feng Palace was heavily guarded now. It was almost the same at night as it was during the day. If he was not careful, he could still be discovered easily. It won't be a big problem if I dig a little deeper. By the time I'm discovered, I'll have already run out of the catacombs. Fang Ping started working as soon as he thought of it. Not many people dared to barge into his compound. Fang Ping knew the distribution of the mineral veins, but he did not dig toward the mineral veins. Digging a tunnel in the true king's mansion was the easiest. The other places were all distributed by the true king's mentality. As Fang Ping dug the tunnel, he pondered, which shop should he rob? Those that were too strong would not do, and those that had too little stuff would not do either. He had to find some shops that were not too strong to rob. It would also make people scratching their heads. It's better if it's a mess. While Fang Ping was digging the tunnel, in the imperial palace, Hua Qidao's face was gloomy as he said in a deep voice, "My king, the thief comes and goes without a trace. He might not be Xiantong. Right now Tianji City is in chaos. Everyone is in danger. King, if this continues, the Tianji army will lose face. Not just the left division, but the other two divisions will also have problems." King Lord did not panic. He leaned on the throne and said with a faint smile, "There's no rush. There's no need to panic. Would the imperial court fall into chaos because of such a small problem?" King Lord said as he lightly knocked on the throne, "The thief doesn't dare to show himself. And it just so happens that the Sky Elm Guardian is condensing the holy fruit for the next 2 days, so it can't be distracted. The thief probably knows that the Sky Elm Guardian won't be patrolling for the next 2 days, which is why he dares to act so brazenly. There's always a reason for the chaos. Why did you create chaos in Sky Plant City? Look for opportunities in the chaos. What kind of opportunity does he want? Kill a few captains from an Er's residence and a general from Prince Feng's residence? That's not their goal." Wang Zhu pondered for a moment and said, "Actually, there are only 3 parties who will create chaos. True King Manor, Destiny Royal Court, and you and I. Of course, you and I wouldn't do such things. If it's not the other True King Manors, then it's people from Destiny Royal Court. What are the other True King Manor's goal?" King Lord murmured, "It can't be to cause chaos in the majestic court. The True King Manor's goal is only the position of King Lord. If there's chaos, this king and the Sky Plant army will be questioned. But that's not enough. They won't dare to kill me because the Sky Elm Guardian is still here. If they don't dare to kill me, then how will they mess things up? And, thinking of this, King Lord said in a low voice, "Send someone to inform the right divine general and have him secretly go to an Ur's residence. If they're from the true king manners, they might attack an Ur king. They're that bold? We have to be on guard. King Lord said, then added, if they're not from the true king manners, but from Destiny Royal Court, what's their goal? To have us fight amongst ourselves? Fighting amongst ourselves. An is in danger, and so are the crown princes like Feng Yeshing. Have the Sky Plant Army increase their protection. These people can't die, at least not in the imperial city. Hua Qidao thought for a moment, then said, King, if they're not from the true king manners or Destiny Royal Court, could there be others? Others. King Lord's eyes flickered, then said, have someone keep an eye on Zhao Xingwu. Then he thought for a moment, then added, Zhao Xingwu might not want the two majestic courts to be peaceful. Although there are people watching him, it's not enough. Qidao, go watch him personally. It doesn't matter if he's discovered. Qidao understands. King Lord suddenly said, he comes and goes without a trace, and the key is that he's mysterious. It's hard to find him. If that's the case, Qidao, how many sky canopies are there now? 16 pieces. Go and make arrangements. Set up sky canopies in some of the important places. Have the Sky Plant Army's trustworthy people keep an eye on the sky canopies. This king wants to see if he can really go up and down without a trace. Hua Qidao's expression changed slightly, saying hurriedly, King, monitoring the true king manners will easily cause disputes. Also, there's a limited number of sky canopies. They were set up to deal with the land of rebirth. Now that they're being used in the imperial city, once they're moved, it'll easily cause damage. King Lord said lightly, don't worry about it. After the Holy Fruit Feast ends, they'll naturally be withdrawn. The sky canopies were created by the true king. It's hard to detect unless you're a true king. This king also wants to see who's creating all of this. As for the land of rebirth, the sky canopies might not be useful. Do some experiments first. If it's really effective, then let the true king palace provide some. Qidao understands. Hua Qidao said no more. Very quickly, he left to make arrangements. King Lord leaned on his throne, smiling. Good at hiding. Huh? If that was the case, then let's give it a try. Let's see how long they can hide, unless they don't move. However, after 2 days, the Heavenly Elm Guardian will no longer be distracted. When that time comes, the other party might not dare to move anymore. Royal residence of Feng Ping had already dug the tunnel. This time, he dug it very deep. The exit was at the foot of a wall near Prince Feng's mansion. There was no one there. I still have to pick up my old profession. I can't forget it. Once the sky turns dark, I'll go out and snatch one. At the same time, I'll see if there's a chance to teach Xian a lesson. Feng Ping calculated in his heart. He began to set up a mentality barrier inside the house. A rank 7 mentality barrier would dissipate in no time once it left its owner. However, it could still be maintained for a period of time. During this period, as long as Feng Ping returned, no one would notice that he had left. However, if someone came looking for him, it would be a little troublesome. If there's nothing going on in royal residence of Feng, most people won't come looking for me. However, I can't not be on guard. When I return, I'll be careful. If I'm really discovered, I'll run first and change to another identity. Feng Ping calculated for a while and made a decision. He did not want to be surrounded. When he returned, he would conceal his aura and investigate carefully before returning to the royal residence. As he waited, the sky turned dark very quickly. Even at night, Sky Botanic City was still brightly lit. However, it was night after all. It was impossible for everything to be as bright as day. In the darkness, Feng Ping's head popped out, and he quickly squeezed out from the sewer. At this moment, Feng Ping's appearance had changed, and his aura was restrained. He was only a rank 4, and he was exceptionally low-key. Walking out of the darkness, there were many people on the streets. Even at night, there were still many people in Sky Plant City. Fong Ping walked in the direction where there were fewer people. If he wanted to rob someone, it was better to rob somewhere with fewer people. Just as Fong Ping was walking toward a less crowded area, Sky Plant Army headquarters, a group of people stared at the 16 giant screens. Fong Manor was not one of them because Fong Mieshing wasn't there. He was with the Vice Hall Master of the Tribute Hall. At this moment, the huge screen was aimed at Lu Wushen's manor. The places where Lu Wushen, Zhao Xingwu, and Ji Yao were staying, as well as Li Yi's mansion and the mansions of other crown princes, were all displayed on the big screen. In the underground hall, someone laughed and said, "The sky curtain is indeed useful. Those below the true monarch realm can't detect it and have nowhere to hide. As long as the thief appears in the sky screen, he won't be able to hide." In the crowd, Divine General Li said coldly, "Watch closely. Everyone's every move in these mansions was observed and observed clearly. If anyone is scouting around the mansions, keep a close eye on them too. Hide in the Imperial City and catch this guy sooner or later." Everyone agreed. A group of powerhouses stared at the screen. No one could escape their sight. While the Sky Plant Army was staring at the screen, Fong Ping did not know that there was a surveillance system in the royal court. From Fong Ping's perspective, the people in the royal court were all powerhouses. These powerhouses were more used to using mentality to scout. This was much more convenient than any surveillance system. At this moment, Fong Ping had already arrived at a small shop. There were not many people at night, much less than during the day. In the shop, other than the employees, there were only 2 customers. Fong Ping glanced at it. The things sold in this shop were not anything good. Of course, that was relatively speaking. The shop mainly sold some energy fruits, which were more targeted at the 3 lower ranks. Martial artists in the 3 lower ranks were not very common in the Imperial City. Fong Ping could only say that the other party had failed to locate them. In the Imperial City, they should sell things that middle-ranked martial artists needed. However, those things cost a lot. Without capital, they probably could not open them. Fong Ping was not picky. It was good that there were fewer people. He also wanted the resources that were useful in the 3 lower ranks. It was not a bad idea to rob them without knowing his true intentions. Selling the resources that rank 3 martial artists needed. Naturally, there were no powerhouses in the shop. High ranks were not cabbages either. In the entire shop, there was only 1 rank 4 martial artist in charge. Fong Ping did not delay. He released his mentality instantly and killed these fellows with a shock. Very quickly, he collected all the energy fruits and corpses into his bag and closed the shop door. At this moment, he had already transformed into the rank 4 in charge. He closed the shop door and left. The few passers-by outside did not care. It was normal that the shop was closing. It was late at night. Not every shop would be open. Walking on the Crystal Avenue, Fong Ping looked happy. Although the shop was not big, the things were still quite valuable. It actually increased his wealth by 3 million points. That meant that these energy fruits were worth 30 billion. It was just a small shop. It was worth a lot. I'm almost at 400 million wealth. At this rate, it's enough to rob 200 small shops. Sky Plant City was incomparably huge. There were tens of thousands of shops. If he robbed 200 shops and cleaned them up properly, he might not be noticed. Of course, once he attracted attention, people would quickly notice that something was wrong. Let's go this way. I'll go take a look at Wan Ting Tower. That Xian Zhengai doesn't go out. It'll be very difficult to kill him. Fong Ping felt a little helpless. Things changed quickly. Xian Zhengai did not leave. How could he kill his imposter? Along the way, Fong Ping came across shops with fewer people. He would go in and take a look. If the situation allowed it, he would kill the other party directly, hide the corpse, and close the shop. When he was about to reach Wan Ting Tower, Fong Ping entered another shop and killed a few people again. He robbed the items and was about to close the shop and leave when he suddenly froze. Why didn't my wealth increase? Fong Ping was instantly on guard. Danger. There was only one situation where his wealth did not increase. He was in danger. This time, Fong Ping did not close the door and left. He went straight into the shop and closed the door from the inside. His expression changed slightly. What was going on? Where was the danger coming from? He had scouted the surroundings. No one could pose a threat to him. Even origin powerhouses could not hide from him, unless a true king was patrolling nearby. True King Tian, you has come out of closed-door cultivation? Fong Ping's heart was pounding. Did he not say that he was bearing fruit? Why did he come out of closed-door cultivation? And he happened to be investigating here, just when Fong Ping sensed danger. Sky Plant Army HQ. Someone said lazily, there's nothing strange about Wan Ting Tower, but there seems to be something wrong with the shop near Wan Ting Tower. A customer clearly went in just now, but the manager closed the door. Could it be that he's trying to kill us for money? Someone laughed and said, who cares? There are many people who do this in the city. There are a few shops that are rigged. It's common for outsiders to go in and not come out. But it's usually people from the outer city. People from the imperial city wouldn't dare to mess around. Let's go take a look, just in case there's a problem. Maybe they're discussing other business. Although they were talking, very soon someone went out and instructed to go take a look. After all, if there was any trouble near Wan Ting Tower, they would be laughed at by the Destiny Royal Court. At this moment, Fong Ping was extremely uneasy. What's going on? Is it a true king powerhouse? But if it's a true king patrolling, I would have been discovered just now. Where's the danger coming from? Fong Ping's head hurt. What was going on? Could it be that there was a system malfunction? Or could it be that the two god generals in the nearby Wan Ting Tower had ill intentions towards him? It could not be, right? Fong Ping's ability was also extremely strong. Unless the two god generals had their eyes on him and had ill intentions towards him. Otherwise, other people were not considered a threat to Fong Ping. It shouldn't be. If the two god generals really had their eyes on me, I can detect them with my rank 9 mentality probing. If it's not a true king, not a god general, then who is it? Could it be that someone is watching me in the dark? It can't be Zhao Xingwu, right? It can't be, right? Then why is my wealth not increasing? Someone must have their eyes on me. I can't detect mentality. Could it be that they can observe me from a distance without using mentality? Fong Ping ridiculed in his heart. Everything was fine before. His wealth increased by a sum of looting. Why was there a problem now? Fong Ping racked his brains. After a long time, he seemed to have thought of something. He muttered in his heart, did I forget something? That day in Qingyang Royal City, those powerhouses were probing us in Future Square. But later, when these powerhouses were recruiting, they sent people straight to some people without hesitation. Li Yi also said that day, Hua Yu had taken a liking to him, but he had not come into contact with Hua Yu at all. He didn't see it. If he really saw it, Hua Yu wouldn't be able to hide it from him. Some things that he did not pay attention to before now surfaced in Fong Ping's mind. Maybe they can really observe me from a distance. Fong Ping's heart stirred. It couldn't be, right? The catacombs had this kind of technology. Very soon, Fong Ping sensed something strange. Outside, There was a team of Sky Plant Army patrolling in his direction. Looking at their posture, it was obvious that they were heading straight for him. A war general is leading the team, not a powerhouse. It seems like they didn't notice that I'm different, but they're heading straight for this shop. That means that they've noticed something strange and specially came to check. The other party can monitor the situation nearby. Fong Ping was greatly shocked. If that was the case, then he would be in big trouble. Previously, when he went to Li Yi's mansion, although he changed his appearance, once there was a surveillance system, someone might have already discovered him. He collected the two chieftains' corpses, restrained his aura, and ran all the way back to Fong Mansion. Doesn't that mean that I've been exposed long ago? No. If that's the case, the royal court would have attacked me long ago. Previously, when I robbed the shop, there was no abnormality. My wealth still increased. This means that even if there's a surveillance system, it's not spread all over the city, but in some specific areas. There's a surveillance system near Wanting Tower. Fong Ping thought of many things. The catacombs actually had this thing. This was not a small matter. If this thing appeared on a large scale, how could he carry out surprise attacks in the future? How could he carry out robberies? All right, these were not important. What was important was that if this thing appeared in the outer realm, if it could be set up on a large scale, every move of humans would be under the other party's surveillance. It was impossible for human powerhouses to stay in the city forever. Once they left the city, their whereabouts would be discovered. If a rank 7 martial artist went out to search for fortuitous encounters and was found out by the other party, it would be dangerous if the other party sent 3 to 5 rank 7s to intercept and kill him on the way. The distance between human cities and catacomb cities was generally quite far, unless the powerhouse deliberately revealed his chi. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the other party to detect any changes from so far away. Sometimes some rank 9 human overseeing would leave the catacombs, but not for too long. During this short interval, the other party would not know. However, if there was a surveillance system, the catacombs would definitely recognize rank 9 powerhouses. Once they left, the other party would take advantage of this moment to launch a surprise attack. That would be even more troublesome. Is it troublesome to set up this setup? Are there any conditions? If it can be set up at will, the catacomb cities will often be raided. If they can just throw a device and monitor them, then humans will be in big trouble. Fong Ping thought of many things, but his feet did not delay. The shop had a back door. Fong Ping left directly from the back door. However, his wealth still did not increase. This meant that this side was also under surveillance. Fong Ping did not stop. His speed was extremely fast. Very soon, he walked in the opposite direction of Wanting Tower, blending into the crowd. After blending into the crowd, Fong Ping continued to speed up, leaving Wanting Tower. Halfway there, Fong Ping found a deserted place, changed his clothes, changed his appearance, and once again blended into the crowd. At this moment, his wealth only increased. This meant that he was out of danger. At this moment, Fong Ping also sensed the danger. At the shop he left, there were currently a few powerhouses, auras descending in an instant. 3 god generals. No, for Fong Ping was shocked. As expected, his abnormality had been discovered. For god generals had arrived. If not for the system not increasing his wealth, which aroused his suspicion, he would have been screwed this time. I was too careless. I underestimated the intelligence of the catacombs' martial artists. These people actually built surveillance cameras. Not only surveillance, but I also can't detect it. This at least has some special rank. 9 means... This is very important. I have to tell old Zhang when I go back. Old Zhang can't do it. The catacombs have already been created, yet humans don't have this. This is too embarrassing. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Old Zhang was too useless. Although this had nothing to do with old Zhang, he had almost been caught in a trap. Old Zhang had to bear this responsibility. This is a little troublesome. There are surveillance cameras. Does the royal residence have surveillance cameras? Didn't they say that the royal residence is invincible? Fang Ping complained in his heart. Very quickly, he remembered that this had not happened before. This meant that the surveillance cameras might have been installed recently. The Sky Plant's army's god generals have been mobilized. This means that the Sky Plant's army did this. Was it the royal lord's order? Is it only in Wanting Tower? Or are there other places as well? The royal lord is monitoring the royal residence. If this gets out, will it cause a big commotion? Fang Ping had another plan in his heart. This was getting interesting. As for the surveillance cameras, Feng extermination, and the others probably knew that there were surveillance equipment. They might have used it in Qingyang Royal City. Even if they had used it before, it did not mean that they knew they were being monitored. The royal lord monitoring the royal residence. These people would probably not be happy about it, would they? There's no harm in trying. Maybe there will be some surprises. Fang Ping was secretly happy. This was a good thing. No powerhouse would be willing to be monitored all the time. The royal lord might have done it recently, but it did not mean that those powerhouses would think so. There's going to be a good show. Fang Ping was much more careful this time. He purposely robbed a small shop on his way to see if his wealth had increased. If it did not, it meant that danger was nearby. When he was near the royal residence, Fang Ping looted a small piece of life stone from a passerby. In the end, his wealth increased too. This meant that there was no danger near the royal residence. At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly realized that he had neglected this function in the past. If his wealth increased near the royal residence, it also meant that he was not discovered by anyone inside. Otherwise, if there were powerhouses ready to surround and kill him, his wealth would not increase. I must be good at using the system's function. If I have time, I can go to the Lake of Life and try fishing some. If my wealth increases, it means that there's no danger. If it doesn't increase, it means that there's more danger. That's right, the same goes for the underground mineral vein. I can go to other places and try digging some, but it's quite dangerous. If I'm discovered, it'll be troublesome. Fang Ping realized that he had unlocked a new function of the system. Although he knew about this in the past, he did not pay much attention to it. At most, he would do some early warning, but he rarely did it. This time, he managed to escape a calamity. When I ambush Ji Yao and the others, I can actually try it in advance. I don't have to share it with others now. If I get it, it'll be my own. If there's danger, then my wealth won't increase. As Fang Ping thought about this, he entered the royal residence through the underground passageway. As for the chaos at Wanting Tower, he could not be bothered. These people only saw his fake face, so he did not have to worry about being discovered. However, if this was the case, people might start to make some connections. I have to leave as soon as possible. Perhaps people will soon guess that it's me who came here. If that's the case, the chance of causing chaos in the catacombs is not high. Then the main mission now is to kill a group of people and rob a large sum of money? Fang Ping suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. This was good too. It was very tiring for him to stay here alone, calculating how to make the two big houses go against each other. Moreover, the probability of success was very small. He would be exposed sooner or later. Once he was exposed, everything he did now would not be of much use. All right, my goal is clear. Kill a group of important people, rob a bunch of money, bring back some information, and maybe cause some trouble. That's enough. Fang Ping set the tone and suddenly felt relaxed. He was not suited to be a spy. He was more suited to be a bandit. No wonder before he came in, old Zhang's attitude was that it was enough as long as he could get some information back. Old Zhang did not expect him to do anything big at all. The probability of Fang Ping creating a rift between the two big houses was not high. If Ji Yao and the others were really dead, they would definitely investigate it thoroughly. He might not be able to hide it from the two big houses. No, it should be almost impossible to hide it. Forget it. Even if they know I did it, Ji Yao and the others died in Skyplant City. That's big trouble. Maple Prince and the others are not on good terms with the Lord's faction. When the time comes, they will definitely hit each other when they're down. Maybe they will push out one side as the scapegoat. It depends on who can out-scheme who, or maybe it depends on strength. This old guy, the Lord, might not be as weak as he appears. Maybe he still has some trump cards. Even if he doesn't, he can still scheme against an immortal king powerhouse. From the looks of it, maybe this time I can force the Lord to reveal some of his trump cards. Let Maple Prince and the others be more vigilant, lest they fall into the Lord's trap in the end. Fang Ping suddenly felt that Maple Prince should thank him. He was thinking for his sake, helping him find out some of the Lord's trump cards. This was a good thing. Please remember this book's original domain name. Chapter 745. Imperial Palace. In the main hall. Escaped. Wang Zhu murmured, slightly surprised. Hua Qidao said, solemnly, Wang Zhu, something's not right. This subordinate has checked and found that 36 shops in the Imperial City that normally wouldn't be closed are all closed tonight. Not only are they closed, but everything in the shops has also disappeared. Not only that, but the people have also disappeared without a trace. As soon as he finished, Wang Zhu suddenly stood up and walked to a crystal mural at the side. He said, show the sign of the closed shops. The mural was a huge map of the Imperial City. Hua Qidao's mental power fluctuated, and soon 36 red dots appeared on the mural. Interesting. Wang Zhu looked at the mural and said softly, what do you see? Hua Qidao looked for a while and said, a straight line, starting from the southern gate of the inner city. It goes straight to Wan Ting Tower. Near the starting point, there is a regal mansion and 3 divine generals' mansions. Don't just look at this. Look more closely. Hua Qidao looked carefully and suddenly said, there's a slight deviation. 36 shops. The shop near Feng Mansion seems to be a little off. That's right, Wang Zhu said calmly. The other shops almost all came in a straight line, but the shop near Feng Mansion is too close. Wang Zhu murmured, did they leave from Feng Mansion? That might not be the case. Given the thief's shrewdness, they would have deliberately avoided their own area. Could it be that they purposely targeted Feng Mansion? Hua Qidao said. Other than Feng Mansion, Huai Mansion at the starting point might also be a suspect. Wang Zhu said with a smile, almost everyone in the southern part of the city belongs to Feng Mansion. The thief left from the southern part of the city and went straight to Wan Ting Tower. Wang Zhu sighed softly and asked, you said that the steward of the shop near Wan Ting Tower left before you arrived. Yes. You lost a level 5 martial artist. Yes. All the people in the shop are missing, dead, or alive. Yes. Wang Zhu said with a chuckle, it's the same as a nurse, dead or alive. This means that the thief has a storage item. A level 5 steward. Is it really a steward? I'm sure the person who left is the manager. Hua Qidao was silent for a moment, then said, I can't be sure. At the venerable level, experts can change their appearance. At that time, there were no divine generals nearby, and the other party had concealed his aura, so we couldn't detect him. Concealing his aura. If the other party is a divine Dao expert, even if he conceals his aura, there are still 2 divine Dao experts in the Myriad Court Tower. at such a close distance. It's very easy to be detected. Did Wan Ting Tower make any unusual movements? Nothing unusual. Wan Ting Tower is not acting strangely. That means either they didn't notice or they are in cahoots. Wang Zhu said softly. Then he suddenly smiled and said, "There's another possibility. The other party can really change his appearance and aura without being noticed. Qi Dao, do you feel a sense of familiarity?" "Change my appearance." Hua Qidao pondered for a moment. Suddenly, his eyes flickered, and he shook his head in disbelief. Even immortal generals can't detect a change in aura. This seems to be what Her Highness Ji Yao and Feng Miexing mentioned before. Feng Ping. Wang Zhu's face suddenly turned cold. Then he recovered his smile and said, "Familiar, right? Feng Ping." Back in the land of kings, Ji Yao and Feng Miexing both said that Feng Ping can change his aura. Back then, he pretended to be Ji Yao's subordinate. How is that possible? Hua Qidao was in disbelief. How could it be Feng Ping? Feng Ping was in the land of rebirth, and this was the core of Sky Plant's royal court, Sky Plant's city. There were true king-level powerhouses here, and there were many immortal generals' powerhouses here. Now, Wang Zhu actually said that Feng Ping from the land of rebirth might have entered the city. That couldn't be. Hua Qidao was stunned for a moment. Could Wang Zhu have guessed wrongly? Hua Qidao said hurriedly, "Wang Zhu, we haven't met the other party. As long as the other party is a venerable, they have this ability." Wang Zhu smiled faintly. "Yes, venerable martial artists do have this ability, but you have to know that there are countless powerhouses in the Imperial City. We might encounter immortal generals at any time. Wouldn't a venerable martial artist in disguise stand out more if he met immortal generals on the road? The Imperial City is bustling. Such a disguised venerable actually dares to walk on the Imperial Road. Isn't he afraid of being targeted? Since he has the guts, it means that he's confident that he won't be discovered. If it's not Feng Ping, then it's a top-notch immortal Dao powerhouse. But I think that the possibility of it being Feng Ping is higher. Wang Zhu, could it be someone else who also has the same ability as Feng Ping? Hua Qidao was still in disbelief. Passing through the Outland, Mount Royal Sea, passing through countless cities, and arriving at Sky Plant City was not something a resurrected martial artist could do, not even a true king. Now, Wang Zhu said that a resurrected martial artist wanted by them might have come to the Imperial City. Hua Qidao only thought that it was a fantasy. Wang Zhu continued unhurriedly, If it's Feng Ping, how did he get in?" Wang Zhu pondered for a moment and murmured, "The Outland can only be entered through the Outland. Moreover, to reach Sky Plant City quickly, it's very difficult. Outland. Not long ago, Yi-Er and the rest went to the Outland to recruit genius martial artists and just happened to bring in a batch of Outland martial artists. If this opportunity is seized, then Feng Ping might sneak in. Go, get the information on the Outland martial artists who entered the Imperial City recently. Also, the Imperial City has been busy recently. I think it happened after Yi-Er and the rest came back." Hua Qidao's expression changed slightly, but he said no more. As the left marshal of the Sky Plant's army, he was the protector of the Imperial City. These martial artists entering the city from the outside had to be recorded. Hua Qidao said no more and went straight out of the basilica. Very soon, Hua Qidao returned and said, "Most of the Outland geniuses recruited that day were killed by City Lord He of Qingyang Royal City. In the end, only Hua Yu, Zi Yu, Feng Miexing, and Yang Sheng were left. They recruited a total of 140 Outland geniuses into the Imperial City. How many people are there in the Southern Territory?" Hua Qidao took a look and said, "There are a total of 32 people in the Southern Territory." "How are they distributed?" Feng Mieshing has the most martial artists from the Southern Territory under his command. There are a total of 17 people. The other highnesses have 15 martial artists from the Southern Territory under their command. Feng Ping came from Sino Nation in the Land of Rebirth. Sino Nation is only connected to the Southern Territory. If Feng Ping wanted to enter, he would not have entered from other territories. Although this is possible, the possibility is very low. In that case, if Feng Ping impersonated a martial artist from the Southern Territory, he would be among these 32 people. Hua Qidao said suddenly, Kuei Ming is also a martial artist from the Southern Territory. Kuei Ming, Wang Zhu said softly. Kuei Ming, Feng Ping, 7 Southern Territory. MCMAU, Kuei Ming is dead. The only martial artist from the Southern Territory who died in public. The only martial artist from the Southern Territory who died in public. Why did the others die quietly, but Kuei Ming died in front of everyone? The thief could even kill a commander-level martial artist without a sound. Could it be that he could not kill Kuei Ming without a sound? He's trying to cover up. Hua Qidao frowned. But when Kuei Ming died, I was there too. He was indeed someone from God Land. Idiot! Wang Zhu said lightly. Since he has a storage artifact, when he impersonated Kuei Ming, he killed Kuei Ming and kept his corpse. Naturally, the one who died was the real Kuei Ming. Hua Qidao's expression changed. His voice was slightly hoarse. Then he is not Kuei Ming now. Wang, did he change his appearance again? The possibility is very high. Wang Zhu walked around the basilica for a while. He looked at the map again and chuckled. Feng Mansion. Looks like it's not a trap. He should still be in Feng Mansion. Very gutsy, very greedy heart. He actually robbed and killed shops near Feng Mansion. That's right. Resurrected martial artists lacked resources. These resurrected martial artists could not hold back when they saw something good. Feng Mieshing was not in Feng Mansion at the moment. The only one who was taken away was Feng Zhe. Feng Zhe was a peak venerable martial artist. It should not be him. Then who is Feng Ping? He entered the venerable realm not long ago. He should still be an early stage or middle stage venerable. Wang Zhu murmured, it's not that easy for him to kill a venerable. Commander stage martial artist, on the other hand, should not be too difficult for him to kill. I remember now. Someone from the outer domain reported that he had a materialized space made of imperishable substances. Catching a commander stage martial artist off guard, trapping a commander stage, restraining his aura, and killing the commander stage in the materialized space could indeed be done without anyone noticing. No wonder I could not find any traces of him. I see. Hua Qidao's expression changed. He said hurriedly, then I will lead the Tianji army to besiege Feng Mansion immediately. No. Wang Zhu pressed his hand lightly and shook his head. Feng Mansion cannot be barged in. Feng Mansion is already extremely dissatisfied with me. If we besiege Feng Mansion now, there will be trouble. Wang, Feng Ping has snuck into Feng Mansion. Are we just going to stand by and watch? Wang Zhu suddenly laughed. If Feng Ping has snuck into Feng Mansion, what is his goal? What does he want to do? What kind of mission does he want to accomplish in God Land this time? Hua Qidao frowned. After a long time, he said, spy on the royal court's intelligence, kill some important people, or simply incite a war between the two royal courts. Then who is his target? Feng Ping is only a venerable. His target can only be martial artists weaker than him. Feng Mieshing, Li Yi, Ji Yao, and even the other highnesses could all be his targets. That's right. Wang Zhu laughed again. Summon back to the palace. Summon the divine generals in the imperial city for a meeting. Say that it is to investigate the thief. Also, summon Ji Yao here to discuss the matter between the two courts. Hua Qidao's expression changed drastically. Wang Zhu said, lightly, give him a chance. Doesn't he want chaos? All right, I will grant his wish. The divine generals had all left and come to the palace. What should he do with so many descendants of the true kings in the imperial city? It was time to clean up these fellows. I am not dead yet, but they are already thinking of replacing me. If these people died, how should the true kings react? Should they attack the land of rebirth immediately, or should they groom another heir of the Lord to replace me? Once the war started, everyone in the royal court was united. At this time, Wang Zhu had the highest chance of achieving true king level. Having one more true king was no small matter. Should he give up on this opportunity or continue waiting? Qidao, if it were you, what would you choose? Hua Qidao was silent for a moment, then said, wait. Right now, the true kings have not come to an agreement. Destiny Royal Court's attitude is still unclear. In order to fight for the greatest benefits for themselves, the true kings will continue to wait. Wait until all the passageways are open. When all the passageways are open, the true kings can do better and be safer. Moreover, they can groom another true king, a descendant of the same family, to become a true king. If the true kings are ruthless enough, they can kill the new true king. Since they are from the same family, they might be able to cross over to the second path. Perhaps this was the Maple King's motive. When the war started, those who did not achieve the second path would be in danger of dying. If they wanted to obtain the greatest benefits, they would have to achieve the second path. Only then could they compete with the Temple Masters and the Life Kings. That's why I feel that even if Feng Miasheng and the rest die, the true kings might endure it quietly and continue to lie low for a while. They are also determined to get the Lord's position. The Lord smiled faintly. However, it will take time to choose a new heir to the Lord's position. And what I lack is time. After saying that, the Lord laughed again. I can't do such a thing. Once I do, it will be the day of my death. Others can't do it either. If they do, it will all fall on my head. But someone can do it. A martial artist resurrected. A martial artist resurrected who is wanted. A martial artist resurrected who is unscrupulous and even came in through Feng Miasheng. If he does all this, it will have nothing to do with me. Lord! Hua Qidao looked worried. He said softly, Lord, if you summon all the god generals now, people will definitely suspect you. The Lord paced for a moment, then suddenly laughed. That's true. I'm a little impatient. Then summon some of the god generals. With so many major events happening in the imperial city, summoning the god generals to discuss matters is only natural. Also, if Fang Ping makes a move, the Sky Plant's military will surround and kill him immediately. Oh, right, the Lord said suddenly, don't be in a hurry to kill him. Force him to pass through Zhao Xingwu's mansion. I still want to test Zhao Xingwu. Hua Qidao took a deep breath. After a long time, he said, Lord, if he escapes, then he escapes. The Lord said lightly, if he really escapes, that's fine too. But if we can kill him, then kill him. If he really escapes from the imperial city, it will show that I'm useless. It will show that the Sky Plant's military is useless. He can change his appearance and restrain his aura. Even so, as long as we keep an eye on him, a venerable martial artist like him won't be able to escape. The Lord spoke for a while, then suddenly said, don't summon Let him continue to stay in the mansion. Lord, don't be too special. Just summon Ji Yao. Will do. Lord. Hua Qidao's expression changed. Then he said hurriedly, then I'll go and protect Her Highness Li Yi. No. The Lord continued pacing. After a long time, he said, "If he really dies, then that's Ear's fate. However, I can let a Skyplant's military commander patrol the vicinity of Ear's mansion. This is the only thing I can do." Hua Qidao took a deep breath and said seriously, "Then if Fang Ping doesn't do anything, or our guesses are all wrong, it's fine." The Lord laughed. "It's fine, even if we're wrong. We'll just try. If he doesn't do anything, let the Skyplant's military search the entire city for the thief, create a sense of oppression, and make him feel like he'll be exposed at any time. If that's the case, he can only leave Skyplant City as soon as possible. Since he's here and has a chance to kill some important people, can he hold back? The opportunity is fleeting. If he misses this chance, he won't have another chance." "I understand." Hua Qidao responded hurriedly, his tone slightly anxious. "Kill those highnesses." This was not a small matter. It might incur the wrath of the true kings. The Lord was taking a risk. But now, these true kings were also forcing King Lord to abdicate on his own accord. In the true king hall, there were still some who supported the Lord. They were searching for treasures to help the Lord recover. Maple Duke and the others could not force the Lord to abdicate. Grooming a new Lord was also a form of coercion. The situation was tense. A great war was about to break out. The Lord had not recovered from his injuries and could no longer lead the entire battle. They could only let the new Lord take over. Only by letting these fellows who were qualified to succeed the new Lord die could they buy time for the Lord. "Fang Ping," Hua Qidao murmured in his heart. Was Fang Ping really here in the imperial city? How dare he? Hua Qidao thought for a while and said, "Even if the god general leaves, the Lord, there are still some venerables protecting them. They won't leave so easily." The Lord nodded slightly and smiled. "That's a little troublesome. We can't be too obvious. How about this? Let the Skyplant's military make a big move and see if we can attract some attention. As for the rest, we'll see if Fang Ping can seize the opportunity. If he can't, it's nothing. It's an accident anyway. If he really can't succeed, it's not a big deal." Hua Qidao said nothing more and left quickly. After he left, the Lord continued to stare at the map. He looked at the information of the martial artists from other regions and was silent for a long time. Residence of Prince Feng. Feng Hua entered Fang Ping's residence. He laughed as soon as he entered. The thieves are really bold. They actually robbed a bunch of shops. Now the Skyplant's military is searching the city. As Feng Hua spoke, outside the door, a commander-level powerhouse said loudly, "Sirs, the Skyplant's military has ordered that they hope to investigate the manors." The thieves might be hiding in the manors. Nonsense! Feng Hua was furious. He scolded, "No! How can the Skyplant's military run wild in the true king's manors?" Outside the door, the commander-level said hurriedly, "The Skyplant's military said it's for the safety of sirs. The thieves might be divine path powerhouses. Some true king's manors don't have Lord God generals keeping watch, so it's hard to find traces of the thieves. Now that the thieves are becoming more and more unscrupulous, the Skyplant's military has already sent someone to report to the true king's hall. Very soon, the Lord True King will return to the city to investigate. To prevent the thieves from escaping, we need the cooperation of the manors. If the manors are unwilling to let the Skyplant's military enter the manors, the Skyplant's military also hopes that the manors can let the divine generals on good terms enter the manors to investigate." As soon as he said this, Feng Hua frowned slightly. He thought for a moment and said, "Go and report to His Highness. See if Hall Lord Lu is free. The Skyplant's military is not allowed to enter the manors. If Hall Lord Lu is free, he can come to the manors to investigate." "Yes, sir." The other responded and left quickly. In the main hall, Fang Ping laughed. The Sky Plant's military is really useless. Hundreds of thousands of Sky Plant's military, dozens of divine generals, and they found nothing. Now, they want to investigate the manners. Compared to back then, they're really getting worse. That's true. Feng Hua also laughed. They're indeed getting worse. However, the thieves are unscrupulous, arrogant, and despotic. It's possible that they're hiding in some manors. The 49 True King's manors are the Sky Plant's military's forbidden land, and there are less than 10 manors with divine generals guarding them. If the thieves are really hiding in manors without divine generals guarding them, it's really hard to investigate. As Feng Hua said this, he laughed. But the possibility of the thieves hiding in King Feng's mansion is not high. Divine generals often come to King Feng's mansion. Fang Ping nodded and laughed. That's true. Lord King Feng is famous. How would the thieves dare to come to the manors and behave atrociously? Although he said this, Fang Ping was cursing in his heart. Why the rush? If they really wanted to investigate, he had to be careful. If he had known this would happen, he would not have dug the underground passage. He would have to fill it up later to prevent people from noticing. The two of them chatted for a while. Not long after, the commander, who had just gone out, returned. He said hurriedly, "Sirs, His Highness said that the Sky Plant's military is not allowed to enter the manors. Also, Hall Lord Lu and the others have been summoned to the imperial court to discuss matters. Most of the divine generals in the city have gone to the imperial court. His Highness ordered us to be careful." Hall Lord Lu went to the imperial court. Feng Hua sneered. The Sky Plant's military is powerless, a mere thief, and now all the divine generals have to discuss it. Will His Highness be okay with divine General Lu leaving? No problem. On His Highness's side, not only is Lord Fengzhi there, but there are also two venerables from Hall Lord Lu's mansion. That's good. Feng Hua responded. Fang Ping smiled. Is the Sky Plant's military still interrogating in the city? Yes. Are there any other imperial residences that allow the Sky Plant's military to enter, or are they only targeting my mansion? All the imperial residences have been requested to assist in the investigation. The divine generals from the imperial residences have also been summoned to the imperial court to discuss matters. Yes. Fang Ping did not ask further. After the other party left, Feng Hua muttered, "It seems like the imperial court is indeed a little anxious. The Lord is no longer as brave as he was back then. If it were back then, with the left and right divine generals in charge and the Lord's great talent and strategy, such a small matter would not affect the Lord at all." Yes, they're anxious. Fang Ping nodded slightly, but he was calculating in his heart. Summoning the divine generals to discuss matters? So anxious? Also, asking the imperial residences to cooperate in the investigation. You've already installed surveillance cameras in people's houses. Do you still need the imperial residences to cooperate? I've just returned. And you've already sent the divine generals away? Fang Ping was deep in thought as he chatted with Feng Hua. Since the incident of the shop being robbed had been discovered, it meant that the news of the missing people and corpses had also entered the Lord's ears. His escape from Wan Ting Tower and disappearance would probably arouse some suspicions, right? Would the Lord be able to guess that it was him? If he could guess it, then what kind of situation would be the most advantageous for the Lord? Would he send someone to kill him directly? Old Zhang said that that fellow is an old fox. If someone as insidious as Old Zhang says that he's an old fox, then he's definitely not a good person. Maybe I've really been exposed. Although he might not know who I am, he might have guessed that I'm in the imperial residence. In the Lord's eyes, who can die and who can't? Sending the divine generals away to give me a chance, or is it really too urgent and needs the divine general's cooperation. Fang Ping's gaze flickered, and he suddenly laughed in his heart. No matter what, he would not take the risk. His life was his own. He was not a professional spy. Why should he guess what the Lord was thinking? He was preparing to leave. Before he left, he would do something big. I'm not killing anymore. I'm going to the imperial residence to mine. I don't care what you think. You probably didn't think that I would go mine instead of killing, right? 49 imperial residences. And you sent the divine generals away. Great, here's my chance. Fang Ping snorted in his heart. I don't care what you think. I'm not staying in the imperial residence anymore, and I don't want Fenyu's identity anymore. I'll continue changing identities. However, even if I'm not staying in the imperial residence anymore, I still have to do something big. At the thought of this, Fang Ping looked at Feng Hua, a conflicted expression on his face. Feng Hua was slightly taken aback. What was wrong with Fenyu? Sir, I have something to inform you, Feng Hua frowned, and did not speak for a moment. Fang Ping, on the other hand, berated, those outside retreat. At the periphery, a commander-in-chief and a few generals left quickly. Fang Ping, on the other hand, set up layers of mentality barriers. Feng Hua's frown deepened, and he said mildly, Fenyu, what are you trying to say? Fang Ping took a deep breath and set up the barriers. His expression was solemn as he said, slowly, I found out Lord Maple is a son of AB**TCH. Feng Hua's pupils contracted sharply. For a moment, he was shocked beyond belief. In God's land, in the imperial residence, he scolded a real king? In the next moment, Feng Hua's vision went black. Then, just as Feng Hua was about to resist, the space suddenly contracted violently. Sir, did you have enough fun scolding AB****? A laugh sounded beside his ear. The golden glow on Feng Hua's body instantly exploded to the extreme. However, at this moment, he and Fang Ping were pressed together in the narrow space. No matter how much he struggled, he could not move an inch. Feng Hua's eyes revealed a trace of despair. He was imprisoned. In the next moment, Feng Hua's aura changed drastically. Even if he died, he would not let the other party off easily. As for the current Fang Ping, while he was speaking, he did not do anything but crazily hit the other's head with his head. Rumble! A series of rumbling sounds rang out in the narrow house. Fang Ping and Feng Hua were pressed together tightly. Relying on the fact that his golden body was stronger than the other parties, Fang Ping was straightforward and direct. Want to self-destruct? No way. I'll kill you. Rumble! A series of explosions resounded throughout the small house, but the sound was muffled by the house. None of the imperial residence commander-in-chiefs outside could sense it. Kacha! The sound of golden bones cracking rang out. Endless destructive force erupted from Fang Ping's head, crashing madly again and again and again. Feng Hua gathered his strength a few times, but it was scattered a few times. In the end, Feng Hua seemed to have no strength to struggle anymore. However, Fang Ping did not care. Even if his golden flesh cracked from crashing, he did not care and continued to hit. Fang Ping. Feng Hua, who seemed to have been hit to death just now, said through gritted teeth. He recognized the other party. No, I'm Feng Yu. Venerable Feng Hua, rest in peace. Fang Ping bared his teeth and hit hard again. There was a rumble. The sound of the explosion exploded. More than half of Fang Ping's flesh cracked. Fang Ping shook his head and cursed in a low voice. I can still explode when I'm about to die. What a waste of my millions of wealth points. Why bother? After cursing, Fang Ping's body flickered with golden light, and he returned to his original appearance in an instant. Then, Fang Ping's face changed, turning into Feng Hua's. I have thousands and thousands of aliases. Let's see how many you can find. I'm off to mine. Fong Ping grinned. Very quickly, he appeared outside the House of Gold. The House of Gold, which was wrapped in mentality, disappeared in an instant, along with Feng Yu. Please remember this book's domain name. Chapter 746. Feng Yu, there's no need to send me off. Pay attention to the situation in the residence these few days. Don't worry, my lord. If there's anything, I will report it to you. All right. In Maple Jade Manor, Fong Ping was talking to himself. His volume was not considered low. After exiting the main hall of Maple Jade Manor, Fong Ping suddenly looked at the crowd outside and shouted, "Why are all of you guarding the inner mansion? To the outer court. The Tianji army is in a mess. Don't give those fellows a chance to spy on the Wangfu." "Yes, sir." Feng Hua was the strongest person in the manor. How could these people dare to hesitate? Very quickly, everyone walked towards the outer courtyard. Fong Ping ignored them and shouted again, "All of you, guard the outer yard for me. No one is allowed to enter. When His Highness is not here, the residence does not receive guests." "Yes, sir." A series of shouts rang out again. Fong Ping pondered as he walked out. After a while, he suddenly said, That Jin Yuhuai, right? Stop." In front of him, Jin Yuhuai's expression changed slightly, and he hurriedly stopped and said with a face full of smiles, "My lord." Fong Ping glanced at Jin Yuhuai, then looked at those foreign martial artists beside him, frowned slightly, and said, "Letting you guys enter the imperial residence is not to let you guys stay idle. Go to Li Yi's mansion and keep an eye on her. If there's any movement, come back and inform me immediately." Jin Yuhuai had a helpless look on his face as he lowered his head and said, "Sir, I'm just a general realm warrior." Fong Ping's expression turned cold in an instant. He scolded, "Then what's the point of keeping you pieces of trash?" The only useful Kuei Ming was dead. "Were all of you trash? Be careful, don't get discovered. The imperial city doesn't allow people to fly, so they have to go in and out through the ground. Find a place near Li Yi's mansion and keep watch. If there's any movement, report to me immediately." "Yes, sir." Jin Yuhuai responded. Seeing this, Fong Ping shouted, "Hurry up!" Jin Yuhuai did not dare to delay and hurriedly ran out. Fong Ping saw that the other foreign martial artists were also about to leave. He shouted coldly, "He alone is enough. You guys as well. You go to King Hua's manor and keep an eye on him. You go to Ziluo Palace. You go to the Ice King Palace. And you go to the Myriad Court Pagoda and keep an eye on those from Destiny Royal Court." Fong Ping made arrangements one by one, saying sternly, "You're not allowed to show any signs of abnormality. You've just arrived. The mansions of the kings are not familiar with you. If there's any movement, inform me immediately." "Yes, sir." Everyone nodded in agreement, and soon they all left. Fong Ping and the others left, sneering inwardly. Did the King Lord know who he was? These foreign martial artists were secretly following him. If the Lord really suspected that he was in the Feng mansion, would he think that he was mixed in with these people? Regardless of whether he would be suspected or not, he had to make arrangements first. It would be good to divert attention. After making these arrangements, Fong Ping did not rush to the underground mineral vein. Instead, he went to Feng Hua Manor first. Feng Hua was a rank 8 martial artist, after all. He should have some savings, right? Feng Hua Mansion. Fong Ping sent his subordinates away. After searching for a while, he found Feng Hua's treasury. Pauper. Upon entering the treasure vault, Fong Ping suddenly cursed under his breath. In any case, he was an expert of Feng Mansion. Feng Hua was previously the chief steward of Feng Mansion, yet he was actually so poor. 1,000 caddies of energy stones and 30 caddies of life essence. How did this guy get by? Fong Ping cursed in his heart. He was really too poor. The energy stones were worth 300 billion, and the life essence was worth 75 billion. This was the wealth of Feng Hua, the chief steward of Feng Mansion. He had gotten by for nothing. Fang Ping shook his head. No matter how small a mosquito was, it was still meat. It was not a bad idea to keep it. As for Feng Hua's divine weapon, Fang Ping did not get it. The other party did not even have time to use the divine weapon before he was killed by him. The divine weapon was still in the Sanjiao Gate. At this moment, Fang Ping took a look at his own data again. Wealth, 482 million points vitality, 70,300 calories, 70,450 calories, mentality, 4,098 hertz, 4,098 hertz, destructive force, 35 yuan, bones honed, 206 bones, 100% storage space, 1,000 cubic meters plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute plus aura simulation, 10 points/minute plus. His wealth increased by close to 100 million. This was the wealth he obtained from robbing those shops. Feng Hua's things were not included yet. Fang Ping continued to wait for a while. Suddenly, he let out a soft humph. Something was wrong. Feng Hua's things were not included in his wealth. Someone was watching him from the outside. There's danger indeed. Someone is watching me from outside the Feng Mansion. Fang Ping cursed in his heart. The King Lord probably did not expect that he could use this to determine the danger. The people from the outside were definitely not weak. It could be a divine path powerhouse who had been watching Feng Mansion all this time. That was why he felt a sense of danger. He had been exposed. I have to be careful. My wealth must not exceed 1 billion. If it exceeded 1 billion, then it would be troublesome. Once the system was upgraded, he might not be able to conceal his aura. If he could not use some of the system's functions, then he would really be waiting for death in Imperial City. These things from Feng Hua are worth more than 37 million wealth. This is more than 500 million wealth points. At most, I can snatch more than 400 million wealth points, which is 4 trillion worth of things. No! Fang Ping suddenly thought of a problem. Why did he do this? Should he not snatch things? Upgrade the storage space. To upgrade the storage space, 1 cubic meter required 500 million from before. Now, it was 50,000 wealth points. I'll just spend it to upgrade. Fang Ping shook his head. He was really stupid. If it really did not work, he would condense a large amount of imperishable matter. Would he still have to worry about not having enough wealth points? A space of 1,000 cubic meters was really small now. It was stuffed with a lot of things and a bunch of corpses. It was almost too big to fit inside. Fang Ping was not careless. Without hesitation, he spent 100 million wealth points to expand the space by 2,000 cubic meters. In an instant, a space of 3,000 cubic meters appeared in his mind. 3,000 cubic meters is not considered big. Sooner or later, it will be able to fit the entire imperial city. Fang Ping made up his mind. He was satisfied. He was not afraid of robbing anymore. As long as it was not something worth more than 10 trillion in one go, he did not have to worry about getting out of danger instantly. His wealth points were increasing rapidly. After tidying up Feng Hua's treasure trove, Fang Ping closed it and walked toward the underground mineral vein. At the same time, Fang Ping went to the treasure trove. Outside Feng Mansion, Hua Qidao frowned slightly. Many foreign martial artists had come out and scattered. What was going on? Hua Qidao cursed in his heart. It was a pity that he had used up all 16 sky screens. Otherwise, he would have set up one in Feng Mansion. Did Fang Ping sense something? Or did these foreign martial artists receive an order? These people are all rushing toward the manors and important territories. Is Fang Ping still in the mansion, or is he mixed in with this group of people? Hua Qidao felt a headache coming on. The king lord's actions put him in a difficult position. If he had directly exposed that Fang Ping was in Feng Mansion, he would not have to go through so much trouble. Even Feng, Miesheng himself, would have to investigate the mansion thoroughly. However, he could not do that now. Who was Fang Ping? Hua Qidao continued to stare at Feng Mansion for a while. His feet moved, and he left the spot. He wanted to go to the headquarters to keep an eye on the sky screen. If Fang Ping made a move on the princes, he might be mixed in with the foreign martial artists just now. The probability of him staying in Feng Mansion was not high. Jin Yuhuai from Li Yi's side, or someone from the other prince's side. Hua Qidao did not think too deeply. He would know soon enough. In the underground mineral vein, Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. Suddenly he laughed. They left. His wealth points increased quickly. This meant that no one was watching him anymore. Interesting. Does this mean that I'm out of danger? These people didn't even leave a guard behind. There are no surveillance cameras in Feng Mansion. If there were surveillance cameras, it meant that he was not out of danger yet. If someone was still watching him from outside and was stronger than him, it meant that he was still in danger. Now that they had left in an instant, it meant that the King Lord did not have enough manpower. The departure of the foreign martial artists also meant that the people who were watching him had left. Then I won't hold back. Fang Ping did not waste any more time. He began to go deeper into the mineral vein. Soon, Fang Ping began to set up a barrier and gently bombarded the huge mineral vein. Kacha. After a while, the solidified layer of mentality that the true king had set up was shattered. Fang Ping exhaled slightly and continued to dig. He had thought about it. He would hollow out the inside, but not the surface. Later, he would create a fake mentality barrier to fill up the hole. Although he could not hide it for long as they did not investigate on purpose, he would not be exposed for a while. Fang Ping quickly opened up a small hole at the top and began to dig quickly. A rank 8 divine weapon Changdao appeared in his hand. As he dug, Fang Ping thought to himself that he should forge a high-grade shovel, at least a rank 8 or 9 shovel. It'll be much easier to dig. Fang Ping thought about it as he dug. The royal residence's mineral vein was indeed huge. Moreover, there were not many impurities. This was a mineral vein that had been specially condensed by a true king powerhouse. It was not naturally formed, so it was much easier to dig. 1,000 caddies, 2,000 caddies. As Fang Ping dug, he stuffed them into his space, calculating the value in his heart. 1,000 caddies was 300 billion. Feng Hua's items had increased his wealth by more than 30 million. Although he had spent 100 million, it had exceeded 450 million. Based on this situation, Fang Ping would be able to level up if he dug out 20,000 caddies, which was 10 tons. However, Fang Ping was not willing to level up at this time. He did not think too much about it. As he dug, he continued to expand his space. Very soon, his space was expanded by 2,000 cubic meters, reaching 5,000 cubic meters. His wealth was depleted by another 100 million points. 3,000 caddies, 5,000 caddies. When he dug out about 10,000 caddies, Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. The energy concentration in the mineral vein had begun to drop. Although the huge mine was huge, it was also very long. Fang Ping did not dare to dig the huge mine that extended to the outside of the royal residence. If the tremors were too big and attracted the true king monster plant's attention, then it would be troublesome. Dig a little more. I'll leave immediately. Fang Ping continued to mine. He did not mine the energy ores on the surface. Instead, he drilled directly into the mineral vein, mining rapidly. After a while, Fong Ping drilled out of the mineral vein, filling up the big hole above with the energy ores that he had cut off from the surface. Fong Ping's mentality began to solidify continuously, sealing up the hole. My mentality barrier will disperse in 3 hours at most. Once it dispersed, if someone entered the mineral vein, they would feel the energy leakage and realize that there was a problem with the mineral vein. Fong Ping drilled out of the mineral vein and mended the hole. Looking at his space, he had dug out at least 15,000 caddies. His wealth had increased by about 400 million. There were very few rank 7 and rank 8 energy ores mixed in. Most of them were rank 9. It's reached 750 million again. Fong Ping sighed incessantly. Usually, it was extremely difficult to level up. Now, in just a short while, he had expanded his space to 5,000 cubic meters. He was about to level up again. Then I'll continue expanding it. This time, Fong Ping was even more extravagant. He directly spent 250 million points to expand his space. In the blink of an eye, the space had expanded to 10,000 cubic meters. Fong Ping grimaced. 10,000 cubic meters. How many things would he need to fill it up? He had close to 500 million points of wealth left. In for a penny, in for a pound, in for a pound. He began to condense a large number of imperishable essence clusters. One cluster was 1,000 yuan. That was 10 million wealth points spent. One cluster, 2 clusters, he condensed 30 clusters and used up 300 million wealth points. Only when he was left with 200 million did Fong Ping stop. This is good stuff. 1,000 yuan. If an impasse martial artist is injured, 1 cluster is enough to heal the injury. I'm rich. Why did I think so much before? If I knew it was so easy to get rich, I would have done it long ago. At this moment, Fong Ping realized that he had really hit the jackpot. In the storage space, aside from the large number of treasures, there were 300 caddies of energy liquid, almost 16,000 caddies of energy ores, more than 30 caddies of life essence, and 30 clusters of imperishable substance worth 1,000 yuan. Sky Plant City was the real treasure trove. 99 mineral veins. It's time to go. I can't stay in Prince Fong Mansion any longer. Fong Ping dared not stay in Prince Fong Mansion any longer. While no one was watching him, he should leave Prince Fong Mansion as soon as possible. Changing to another identity and continuing his carefree life was the right thing to do. The next target is Prince Y Mansion. Fong Ping had a plan in his mind. He could not go to the manors with the crown prince. He could not go to the manors with divine general powerhouses either. There might be surveillance cameras there. However, among the 49 manors of true kings, some of the true kings had not shown their faces for hundreds of years. Now, there were only a few small fries in the manors, and they were almost forgotten. That place was the real good place. I'm afraid you think I'm going to the powerhouse's territory to stir up trouble, but I'm not going. You're worried for nothing. Fong Ping walked out of the mineral vein very quickly. The mineral vein was not unguarded. 2 general-level martial artists stood on the left and right sides of the mineral vein. Seeing Fong Ping come out, the 2 generals did not dare to ask anything. They bowed respectfully to send Fong Ping off. Fong Ping returned to Fenghua Mansion, closed the door to the isolation room, and continued digging. He was leaving. Soon, outside Prince Fong Mansion, Fong Ping appeared. At this moment, he had changed his appearance again. He changed so much that he did not even recognize who he was. His aura was maintained at rank 4, and he quickly left the vicinity of Prince Fong Mansion. In the imperial court, in the basilica, at this moment, there was a lot of noise. The Lord's face was deathly pale. He knocked on the throne lightly, interrupting everyone's discussion. He said slowly, Everyone, now that the thieves are unscrupulous, the Tianjin military is at fault. This matter will be concluded, and there is no need to discuss it anymore. Everyone, let's talk about investigating the mansion. This cannot be done. Below, Lu Wushan said immediately, the mansion is the Lord True King's mansion. Before the True King's Hall gives a reply, we cannot investigate without permission. An old man sitting on the upper right side said slowly, are we going to let the thieves create chaos in the Imperial City? Now that the Imperial City has been turned upside down, there is no trace of the thieves. The other party is most likely hiding in the mansion. Marshal of the Right, who said that the thieves must be hiding in the mansion. Who knows, they might be among us. Someone sneered and said playfully, to cause such a disaster and still be able to escape the Tianjin military's investigation, I think it must be a divine Dao realm martial artist. In that case, almost all the divine Dao realm martial artists in the Imperial City are here now. Nonsense. A load of nonsense. Someone scolded. The Marshal of the Right frowned slightly. At this moment, the person who had spoken before smiled again. Why don't everyone wait in the Imperial Court? I want to see if there will be any more movements in the city. If there is, then it means that the thieves are not among us. If not, is there still a need to continue investigating? After this person finished speaking, another god general said, lightly, the thieves are not stupid. Since we are all waiting here, the thieves might not make a move on purpose. These people discussed animatedly. On the other side, Ji Yao sent a voice transmission. Uncle King Nan, Lord Li seems to be unable to control the situation in the imperial court. Such a small matter has actually escalated to this stage. My father has repeatedly warned me to be careful of Lord Li, but I'm afraid he didn't expect that the Heavenly Plant's imperial court has already reached this stage. Ji Nan also sent a voice transmission. After all, his strength has been damaged. In the God continent, there is no powerful Lord Li. It is already very rare for Lord Li to be able to sit on the Lord Li's position for more than 10 years after his injury. However, the true King Hall's patience has reached its limit. Lord Li is unable to recover, and his injuries are worsening instead. Under such circumstances, the Heavenly Plant's imperial court will naturally lose control. Is the death of Grandpa Xian you really related to Lord Li? Ji Nan was silent for a moment, then sent a voice transmission. It's hard to say. It might be related, or it might be someone else's doing. It's possible that they want us to force Lord Li to do something. Ji Yao heard this and looked at the pale Lord Li. She thought for a moment and said, Uncle Wang, it's just Li and Feng Miexing's subordinates being killed. Something happened to some shops, and dozens of god generals are actually arguing over this. Is there a need for this? Ji Nan smiled. Actually, this is just a pretext. If Lord Li doesn't summon the god generals to discuss this, then it's all because of Lord Li and the Tian Plant's army's incompetence. Now that the god generals are gathered for a discussion, these god generals and the experts of the True King Hall are all helpless. It's not that Lord Li and the Tian Plant's army are incompetent, but that all of them are incompetent. If one side makes a mistake, the other side will reprimand them. However, if both sides are at fault and incompetent, then the pressure on Lord Li will naturally be much smaller. Yao, this is where Lord Li is smart. It's best if these god generals have a solution. If they kill the hidden enemies, then Lord Li's goal will be achieved. If there's no solution, then we'll share the responsibility. If the 49 king halls and the 8 halls can't do anything, then it won't be the Tian Plant's army's problem anymore. The left side of the army isn't stable to begin with. If we lose the center and right, then Lord Li's prestige will plummet, and he won't be far from abdicating. I see. Ji Yao understood, but she couldn't help but feel a bit disdainful. The Skyplant's court was growing more and more chaotic. Ever since Lord Li's injury, the court had been in chaos. It wasn't like Destiny Court, where House Ji's words were absolute. Now that her father had become a true king, he'd reached a new peak. The lords of various royal cities had taken the initiative to pay tribute to the imperial city. Over at Destiny City, her father's words carried enormous weight, and all the true king halls bowed their heads in submission. As for Ji Yao, she was someone Li Yi couldn't compare to. Li Yi was someone everyone dared to bully in the Skyplant's court. Ji Yao, on the other hand, was someone even divine realm cultivators had to bow and address as Your Highness in Destiny Court. Sitting on his throne, Lord Li's expression was ugly. He didn't say anything else and continued listening to the discussions. At this time, Hua Qidao walked out from behind the throne and transmitted a few words to the Lord. Lord Li didn't speak, merely tapping his fingers. Hua Qidao seemed to have received some sort of order and quickly left. Skyplant's military headquarters, in a grand hall. Hua Qidao walked in and said in a low voice, "Divine General Li, did you find anything?" Divine General Li stared at the sky for a long time, then exhaled. "Nothing. These people have been watching the monarch's residences, no different from normal scouts." Hua Qidao looked toward Li Yi's residence and said, "This Jin, Yu Hua, keep an eye on him. He sold some pills from the Land of Rebirth earlier. There might be some problems. It's best if nothing happens to Li Yi. The king only has one son, Li Yi." "Of course." Divine General Li replied. He was also a member of the Li family, so he valued it more than Hua Qidao. How tolerant! Hua Qidao sighed. If Fang Ping had really snuck in, and he didn't make a move now that the opportunity was right, then the other party was really tolerant. As he said that, Hua Qidao added, "Could it be that the Skyplant's military has caused too much of a ruckus, so he doesn't dare to show himself?" Divine General Li said softly, "What do you mean, Commander Hua?" "Let the Skyplant's military lord check some shops and withdraw some people from the vicinity of the monarch's residences. These divine generals won't stay for long at the royal palace. Once they leave, he won't dare to show himself." "All right." Divine General Li did not hesitate. He was a member of the Li family. If the Lord really abdicated, he might be in big trouble. If not for the Lord's prohibition, he would have killed those princes personally. At the same time, Zhao Xingwu's residence. Zhao Xingwu did not go to the imperial court for official business. Currently, he sat in the main hall, silent, not speaking for a long time. Below, the former Eighth Elder drank tea and said with a smile, "Grand Elder, you're still the most carefree. Unlike me, it's like a prisoner here." Zhao Xingwu ignored him, raising his head to look at the ceiling, his gaze slightly strange. The person who was watching him had left. Not only had the person who was watching him left, but even that wisp of true king mentality seemed to have disappeared. Was true King Tian Yu at the final deadline of the holy fruit condensation? Nobody was watching him. Were they not afraid that he would cause a ruckus? Something's not right. Something's not right. The divine general entered the palace for official business, and there's actually nobody watching over here. Is this deliberately creating an opportunity for me? I feel like I'm being watched. Is someone hiding from me and spying on me? Zhao Xingwu fell into deep thought. What was the Lord trying to do? Was there a need to scheme against him? If he really wanted to make a move, would he have waited until now? Or did the Lord have other motives? For a moment, Zhao Xingwu was a little confused. Please remember this book's domain name. Nine Heavens Divine Emperor. Chapter 747, Duke Huai Manor. Fang Ping's disdain was at its peak. How could this be called a prince's residence? The powerhouses guarding the vast Duke Huai Manor were only a few 7th-grade powerhouses, not even a single 8th-grade powerhouse. Isn't this a little too miserable? Even the Feng royal residence was inferior. That's true. The Huai Manor doesn't have an heir to the throne. The previous Huai Muqing might have had a chance of becoming the crown prince, but he died too early. The Huai Manor didn't have a suitable candidate, so they had no choice but to give up. There aren't any important figures from the Huai Manor here, so a few 7th-grade martial artists are already pretty good. Fang Ping explained on behalf of King Huai. As a true king, he was too shabby, so he had to take care of the other party's pride. That's what you get for shouting that you'll kill me. This time, I'll rob your mansion. The imperial residence was too big, and there were only so many powerhouses. Fang Ping curbed his aura, found a random spot, crossed over the high wall, and blended into the imperial residence. After a while, a group of patrolling soldiers disappeared. It was as if Fang Ping had entered a no-man's land. Groups of people disappeared one after another. Gradually, Duke Huai Manor seemed to have sensed some movement. The few commander realm martial artists did not dare to fly in the air and began to investigate the surroundings. Fang Ping, who was at rank 8/4 refinement, was not someone they could compare to. Soon, a commander disappeared. At this moment, the remaining commanders felt that something was amiss. At this time, a commander shouted, "Everyone, come here! Something's not right. Quick!" As soon as he said this, a few commanders nearby rushed over. Someone said in a low voice, "Something's wrong. The aura is much weaker. Did someone sneak in?" A commander at the side also hurried over, extremely vigilant. He said in a low voice, "The Tianji army was going to patrol the Wangfu before this. Perhaps the thief really is hiding in the Wangfu. Huai Ping, should we inform the Tianji army?" This person was asking the person who had just shouted. Huai Ping, who had just yelled for everyone to gather, looked around and said gloomily, "There's no rush. Let's wait for everyone to gather and see if there are any unforeseen events. If we inform the Tianji army now, where will the face of Duke Huai Manor be?" As soon as he said that, Huai Ping's golden house suddenly appeared and enveloped the few of them. Then his mentality exploded, killing the middle and low-ranked martial artists who were rushing over. He cursed, "What's going on? Was my answer not accurate enough? Why do you guys want to kill him?" Fang Ping felt wronged. "I'm a thief crying thief, asking you to gather. You asked me, and my answer is very accurate. Informing the Tianji army was indeed shameless. Why did you want to kill him? Who are you?" The expressions of the captains who were trapped changed drastically as they shouted loudly. "What are you shouting for? No one can hear you. Tell me, how did you discover the problem? I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, boom." As soon as Fang Ping said the word 3, he erupted instantly. This time, he did not squeeze them. Instead, he exploded directly. With a low roar, the destructive force on his fist erupted, blasting a rank 7 chieftain into pieces. In an instant. "Trash, even a rank 7 wants to fight me. Damn it." When the remaining 2 saw this, they were both terrified and furious. "Didn't you say to count to 3? In their terror, the 2 of them did not fight Fang Ping. They hurriedly bombarded the walls, trying to break out of the cage. This place was too small. Even if a rank 7 martial artist encountered a weak rank 9, he would not be killed instantly if he was given a little space to perform. A martial artist's close combat was the most dangerous, but now they had to do it even if they did not want to. The 2 of them bombarded the wall madly for a while, but the wall did not budge an inch. Both of their expressions changed completely. Without another word, they turned around and attacked Fang Ping together. Fong Ping did not dodge or evade, allowing the two of them to bombard his body. His body shone brilliantly with golden light. Fong Ping said with a look of enjoyment, "Fight! I don't lack imperishable substances. I'll self-destruct myself and save some trouble." "Bastard! Who the hell are you?" "I'm Fong Yixing." The next moment, Fong Ping's figure changed, suddenly turning into Fong Yixing's appearance. The rank 8's ability was not unfamiliar to these few chieftains. However, when Fong Ping's aura also turned into Fong Yixing's aura, their expressions changed completely. Fong Ping. At this moment, the two of them roared madly. It was Fong Ping. Fong Ping looked surprised. "Am I so famous now? You two recognized me just by changing my face?" There was no time to waste on them. Fong Ping shrunk the room instantly. The three of them squeezed together again. This time, the two of them looked hopeless. Without hesitation, they self-destructed with a boom. The golden glow on Fong Ping's body flickered for a while. Very quickly, it returned to normal. "I have to hurry. The rank 7 martial artists' auras dissipate. At most, it will take 3 minutes before someone notices." Fong Ping did not hesitate. His mentality swept across the entire imperial residence. Very quickly, Fong Ping found the imperial residence's treasury. There were originally 2 rank 6 martial artists guarding the treasury, but now they had become corpses. Fong Ping smashed the treasury's door with one blow. When he entered, he cursed again. The Huai residence was too poor. Rats could run in the treasury. Other than a few big boxes of energy stones, some armors, and weapons, there was almost nothing in the treasury. Fong Ping did not care too much. He put away the things directly, and then quickly ran toward the underground mineral vein. This time, Fong Ping did not try to hide anything. In a moment, he broke the mentality barrier and ducked quickly for a while. In less than a minute, Fong Ping drilled out of the ground and left quickly without looking back. Since chaos was going to happen, then let it happen. Not long after Fong Ping left, outside the Huai residence, a group of patrolling soldiers passed by the Huai residence. The commander in the lead took a look at the Huai residence and frowned slightly. Then his expression changed, and he said in a low voice, "Where are the residence's guards?" In the past, there were guards outside the residence of the Huai residence. But now, the gates of the Huai residence were closed, and the guards were gone. Behind him, a general said in a low voice, "Did they go in?" No, the Huai residence was a forbidden area. The Sky Plant's army had no right to use their mentality to sweep the Huai residence. At this time, the commander hesitated slightly. Very quickly, he shouted, "Is Commander Huai here?" After waiting for less than 3 seconds, the person's expression changed completely. No longer holding back, his mentality swept across the Huai residence. With this sweep, the corpses on the ground appeared in his mind in the blink of an eye. Something happened. "Quick, inform the sirs." Something happened to the Huai residence. The commander shouted loudly, rising into the air and shouting, "The Huai residence has been destroyed. Alert!" This person shouted loudly. In the nearby area, some mansions moved upon hearing the news. One by one, the martial artists were on high alert. One by one, the high-ranked martial artists began to sweep their mentality. Sky Plant's army headquarters. Hua Chi Dao was still looking at the sky when his expression suddenly changed. There was some commotion at the inner city's south gate. What's going on? Sky Plant City was huge. Although he had stepped into the origin path, he could not reach the entire inner city. At this moment, however, he sensed that there was a commotion among the powerhouses at the south gate. Their chi activity was at its peak. That's the direction of the Huai residence. Hua Chidao's expression changed. Without another word, he left the headquarters. Something had happened to the Huai residence. After something happened to the Huai residence, a moment later, something happened to a divine general's residence in the distance. Put the entire city on lockdown. Hua Qidao rose into the air and shouted loudly. His heart was filled with rage. What was going on? Was it Fong Ping? But why was Fong Ping here? In the palace. The Lord's expression changed slightly. In the next moment, the right divine general frowned slightly. Something seems to have happened. At this time, Hua Qidao shouted loudly. In the basilica, the divine generals were moved and quickly left the basilica. At this time, in Willow Wushan's residence not far from the palace, Feng Mieshing suddenly flew into a rage. He rose into the air and shouted, Hua Qidao, how dare you? Hua Qidao, who was about to go to the Huai residence, saw him in the air and was furious. Just as he was about to speak, Feng Mieshing said angrily, the Sky Plant's military dares to monitor the 49th Duke's residence? Bastard! With that, Hua Qidao could not care less about the Huai residence. ****. How did Feng Mieshing know? Right now, Feng Mieshing did not care about the Huai residence at all. In reality, he was only a rank 7. He did not notice the commotion at the Huai residence. He only knew that someone from the Feng residence had sent a letter from Fenghua, although the handwriting was messy and did not look like a letter from Fenghua. However, Feng Mieshing did not care so much. He only knew that the Sky Plant's military was monitoring all the Duke's residences, including his Willow Wushan's residence. Feng Mieshing cursed. Then he rose into the air and used his mentality to explore his surroundings. Soon, he seemed to have found something. High in the air, Feng Mieshing threw a punch. The void shook slightly, like a wave, and a transparent crystal appeared in the air. ****. Feng Mieshing was furious. At the same time, in the palace, the expressions of the divine generals changed drastically. The Sky Plant's military was monitoring all the Duke's residences. Although the sky screen could not transmit sound, their every move in the residence was monitored. It was not difficult to learn how to read lips. For powerhouses, it was really not difficult. If the sky screen happened to be monitoring their lips, everything they talked about in the residence would be known by the Sky Plant's military. How dare you? Hua Qidao, who gave you the guts? At this time, the divine generals from the Duke's residences, including some powerhouses from the 8 halls, were furious. Behind them, the Lord, who had not come out of the main hall, was frighteningly pale. How could there be such a careless mistake? Feng Mieshing, that ****. The sky screen could not be detected unless it was a true king. Right now, there was only true King Tianyu in the city. The Lord had already prepared to leave the sky screen after capturing Fong Ping. Who would have thought that it would be exposed just like that? Only Hua Qidao and a few Sky Plant's military commanders knew about the sky screen's setup. How did Feng Mieshing know about it? The Lord did not expect it to be Fong Ping. Fong Ping had just entered Godland. He probably did not even know what the sky screen was, let alone detect it. How did he know about this? In midair, Hua Qidao felt a splitting headache. Then he shouted angrily, something has happened to Duke Huai Manor. Everyone, now is not the time to pursue this matter. These be asterisk stars. Was this the time to pursue this matter? As soon as he said that, the right divine general also said in a low voice, Everyone, I will explain this matter to everyone. Qidao, bring people to Duke Huai Manor. Quickly! Since the right divine general had spoken, Hua Qidao did not hesitate anymore. He brought a few divine generals and rushed south quickly. The others, however, looked gloomy. What did the Duke Huai Manor's trouble have to do with them? The Sky Plant's military was monitoring them. This was a serious matter. However, there were still a few divine generals who did not stop. They used the flight step and flew toward their own mansions. These people were powerhouses from some important mansions. Now that something had happened to Duke Huai Manor, they were also worried that something would happen to them. So they left one after another. As for the flight ban, who cared about that at this time? Normally, everyone would care a little, give the Lord's faction some face, and give the majestic court some dignity. But now, the Sky Plant's military even dared to do things like monitoring. What else did they have to worry about? Soon, a powerhouse in the distance began to bombard the sky. A moment later, there was a cracking sound. In the palace, some of the powerhouses who had not left spread out their psyche energy. Seeing this scene, someone snorted coldly, his face dark. There really was monitoring. No one cared about the Lord in the main hall anymore. Many people looked at the Right Divine General, their faces ashen. The Right Divine General was also distressed. What was done was done. If they did not know, or if they found out later, it would have been fine if they did not admit it. But now they were caught red-handed. The Sky Plant's military was in big trouble, supervising the 49 true king residences and the residences of the 8 halls experts. If the royal court was strong enough to suppress these people, then it wouldn't matter. The problem was that the majestic court did not have this power. They could not suppress these people, and now the problem had been discovered. This was really troublesome. Li Zhu and Li Zhu, this is troublesome. You were too careless. The Right Divine General murmured inwardly. He did not look at the Lord behind him, feeling somewhat sorrowful. In the past, if all 3 of them had advanced to true monarch, this scene would not have happened. With the 3 true monarchs working together, at least half of the true monarchs in the True Monarch Hall would support them. Even monitoring the True Monarch Hall would not be a big deal. Can you recover or not? If not, the position of Lord will only bring you harm and no benefits. Why don't you give it up? The Right Divine General had another thought. It was a good thing that Li Zhu could recover. He also needed the position of Lord to help him reach true monarch realm. But if he was really crippled, keeping the position of Lord might not be useful. Now that the true monarchs were eyeing him, something would happen sooner or later. It was better to abdicate now, give up everything, and go to the True Monarch Hall to commit suicide for the sake of their past relationship and the protection of some true monarchs, Monarch Feng, and the others would not do anything to a crippled lord. While he was thinking, Hua Qidao shouted in the distance, "The thief destroyed Duchy Huai Manor. The mine was damaged. The thief came from Monarch Feng Manor." Hua Qidao did not question the Lord anymore. He knew what to do. As soon as he finished speaking, Feng Miesheng, who was still cursing, was stunned. Then he said angrily, "Nonsense! Monarch Feng Manor? How was that possible?" Hua Qidao did not care about that. He flew over Duchy Huai Manor and headed straight for Monarch Feng Manor. Now, the Lord's plan could not go on. The thief did not act according to the Lord's plan. He did not attack the princes at all. Instead, he killed the unimportant people of Duchy Huai Manor. The thief had no intention of killing the princes at all. This time, Hua Qidao did not care about anything. He used his mental power to check Monarch Feng Manor. After a while, he shouted, "Fenghua is not in the manor. Fengyu is not in the manor either. Let's go." At that moment, the divine generals in the palace rose into the air and headed straight for Monarch Feng Manor. Until now, they still could not figure out what was going on. What was going on? Could it be that the thief from before had come out to commit murder again, or was it a thief from Monarch Feng Manor? Among the crowd, Lu Wuxian rose into the air and returned to her manor. She grabbed Feng Miexing and headed straight for Monarch Feng Manor. At that moment, Feng Miexing's expression was gloomy. He did not say anything about the surveillance. Something had happened at Monarch Feng Manor. Feng Hua and Feng Yu were not in the manor? Where were they? He had reminded them many times not to leave the manor without permission. Now that the two of them were guarding Monarch Feng Manor, how could they not be in the manor? Just now, Feng Hua had sent someone to deliver a letter. Feng Hua, there's something wrong with Feng Hua. Feng Miexing's expression changed. He had been so furious that he did not have time to think about it. At that moment, he took out the letter that Feng Hua had asked someone to deliver to him. After reading it carefully, Feng Miexing cursed. This is not Feng Hua's handwriting. Lu Wuxian did not even look at it. It did not matter whether it was or not. Feng Hua was gone. Could it be that the thief had been hiding in Monarch Feng Manor all along? Those people had left, but there were still people outside the imperial palace. Ji Yao looked at the chaotic sky plant city and the large number of experts flying in the air. She could not help but laugh and shake her head. She said calmly, "Imperial uncle, the imperial city forbids flying. It's all talk now." Ji Nan also laughed. She turned to look at Lord Li, who was still sitting in the hall. Without saying anything, she turned and bowed. "Lord Li, we will take our leave first." Although Lord Li's face was pale, he still wore a smile. "Slow down. The thief is cunning. Divine General Jinan, please be careful. I will arrange for people to protect Wan Ting Tower. Sorry for the embarrassment." "I wouldn't dare." Ji Nan was rather polite. After exchanging some pleasantries, she did not fly in the air. Instead, she left with Ji Yao on foot. As for Xiantong, he had already left when the incident happened. Xianzhen was still in Wanting Tower. After everyone left, Lord Li looked at the Sky Plant Army guards in the hall and waved his hand. "All of you are dismissed." The Sky Plant Army did not dare to question him. They all left the hall. A moment later, an old voice sounded in Li Zhu's ears. "Li Zhu, this old man should make a move. Lord Protector, you don't need to do anything. All the monarchs know that you are condensing the holy fruit. You are focused on this. If you make a move now, won't the monarchs be suspicious?" Lord Li smiled faintly. "If it's chaotic, then so be it. It won't be too chaotic. Li Zhu, am useless. Everyone has seen it. Ji Hao thought. Even the Destiny Royal Court can see it. At this time, Li Zhu, will probably disappear from the monarch's eyes. However, the Destiny Royal Court probably wants to see me, a useless lord, remain on the throne. It's also what some monarchs want to see. The Maple Monarch and the others want to seize the position of lord and have their descendants step into the true monarch realm. They even want to take the second path. How could they be ignored? Even the hall master might not want them to take the second path. The more useless Li Zhu is, the more stable his position as lord will be. If it weren't for the hall master's support, I would have already abdicated back then. That's fine. These people have been watching me and think I have a plan. After this, I'm afraid they won't think that way anymore. The celestial elm monster plant's old voice sounded again. "You did it on purpose." "That's not the case." Lord Li laughed. "It's just that plans can't keep up with changes. I overestimated Fang Ping's ambition. I didn't expect him to only be greedy for money. This is beyond my expectations. I thought that he came to the royal court and Sky Plant City after so many hardships. A mere life stone shouldn't be enough for him. I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it." Interesting. Lord Li shook his head. He had overestimated Fang Ping's ambition. A mere mineral vein. Even if it was thrown in front of him, he would not even bother to take a look. He thought that the land of rebirth had gone through so much to get Fang Ping here, and would not lose sight of the bigger picture. In the end, he was proven wrong. Fang Ping did not attack those princes. Those people were the descendants of monarchs. They all had hopes of stepping into the true monarch realm. At least after becoming a lord, there was hope. In the end, Fang Ping did not attack these fellows who had hopes of becoming monarchs in the future. Instead, he went to the unimportant Huai manor to snatch the mineral vein. Unbelievable! I was still wrong. Previously, when those shops were in trouble, I thought that he had already gotten the resources he wanted. At this time, he should focus on proper business. Lordly did not know what to say, taking such a huge risk and entering deep into the enemy's camp. Was there someone who wanted to steal the life stones? When people died, there was nothing left. They could not bring anything with them. Putting himself in their shoes, any spy deep in the enemy's camp would not be tempted by these life stones right now, or just run away. Why don't we do something big? In the end, there was nothing. The celestial elm guardian was speechless for a moment. What he said made sense. Indeed, in the eyes of powerhouses, what was a mere mineral vein? Even the city lords in the outlands had mineral veins. Not to mention the royal court powerhouses. Entering deep into the royal court was more important than a mineral vein. The celestial elm monster plant did not think about this anymore. It spoke again. He is indeed different. I have investigated carefully before and did not find any traces of him. It's best not to leave this person alive. As it spoke, the celestial elm guardian's voice changed slightly. Zhao Xingwu is moving. Lordly frowned slightly. He said, Lord Guardian, keep an eye on Zhao Xingwu. Zhao Xingwu is more important than Fang Ping. He is also a pawn of the true King Hall. We cannot let anything happen to him. I understand. The celestial elm guardian responded. Very quickly, there was no more sound. At the same time, a Changdao suddenly appeared in Zhao Xingwu's hand. He slashed at the void. A crystal-like object shattered immediately. Zhao Xingwu looked around. His aura rose to the extreme. He said coldly, Why spy on me? If you really want to see, just enter the house. Grand Elder, 8th Elder's face was filled with nervousness and shock. So powerful. Zhao Xingwu's aura rose to the extreme. The Changdao in his hand emitted a dazzling golden light. It made him tremble in fear. A top-notch rank, 9 divine weapon. In addition to studying the true king's ultimate art, the current Zhao Xingwu was more than 30% stronger than before. If before entering the restricted area, Zhao Xingwu was on par with Zhang Weiyu and the others. Now, he might be even stronger. This was a true top powerhouse that had walked the Great Tao to 999 meters. He was in no way weaker than Nan Yunyu in the Battle of the Forbidden City. Zhao Xingwu's aura rose to the extreme. At this time, a figure flashed in the air. The right divine general had a dignified expression. He slowly said, Why is Marshal Zhao so angry? The bandits wreaked havoc not only in Marshal Zhao's house, but also in other places. They weren't targeting Marshal Zhao alone. As soon as he finished speaking, the right divine general lightly said, Marshal Zhao, it's fine if you shatter the sky curtain. Why do you need to release your aura and disturb the atmosphere? Zhao Xingwu sneered. A divine light erupted from his eyes. He coldly snorted and said, Even if I am unhappy, what can you do? It's fine if a true king is spying on me, but if you dare to spy on me again, I will cut you down. Humph! The right divine general coldly snorted. His complexion changed, and he instantly left. Just as he left, a massive spatial crack exploded where he was. Scram! If you dare spy on me again, I will cut you down. Zhao Xingwu coldly snorted. He put away his divine saber and returned to his house, no longer bothering with him. In the air, the right divine general's complexion changed again. So strong. After changing for a while, he pondered in his heart, is this guy doing this on purpose? A powerhouse like Zhao Xingwu, when his aura erupted, was incomparably powerful. Not only did he come here to investigate, but even a true king had to keep an eye on him. Many powerhouses in the city had noticed this side at this moment. They were extremely vigilant and could not be bothered to continue searching for Fang Ping. Does he know that the person who came as Fang Ping? He received very little information. He probably doesn't know. The right divine general analyzed in his heart for a while. Even the Lord King might not be sure that it was Fang Ping. He could only say that the probability was very high. The King Lord had always relied on guesses and various clues to make his guesses. Zhao Xingwu, a guy who was being monitored, probably did not know. No matter what, this guy's hope for the palace to be in chaos should not be wrong. The right divine general's gaze was cold and fierce. I'll let you be arrogant for a while more. No longer concerned about Zhao Xingwu, the right divine general's silhouette moved, swiftly flying into the distance. Since Fang Ping did not follow the plan, then he had to kill the other party. He could not let him escape. Otherwise, the Sky Plant's army would not be able to hide this time. P.S. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., there will be a donation event on the website, giving away a Gaowu bolster, MCMU token, Gaowu t-shirt, important cameo. I hope the brothers will support it. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.